All right. We are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords podcast and the Lords of Gaming.net, episode number 112. And it's another glorious Sunday. We're back at the round table on the Lord's Day. And today, the realm will rejoice. We got part 2 of the 2019 prediction series, and Sony is next up to bat. I'm extremely proud to have all this PlayStation royalty here at the round table, so we're going to get right into it. I want to introduce a Lord whose love of the PlayStation brand and Last of Us franchise is truly evident in everything he does. This Lord is easily one of the most entertaining follows on Twitter, fellow brother in Iron, and minus the hooting and the hollering, will give you the real on PlayStation Review. Introducing the creator and host of the Silversky YouTube channel, one of the funniest gaming families on Twitter, advocate for limb separation, and the Lord who shames grown men for being too hyped for Nintendo products. Live from Dallas and making his debut into the realm of the Lords, my man, Lord Silversky 545. How you doing, sir?
Oh my God, that was amazing!
Woo!
I love that. That was. I don't even believe in intros. That was dope. I'll just say one thing. In 2019, how are you still repping Xbox?
Oh, he started to slander early. Damn, so
Junk.
And I would say this, sir. Welcome to the fold.
No, man, what's going on? So, what you
I'm just excited to be here. Got pulled over on the way because I was rushing. Had to go buy the lady some donuts, and thankfully my complexion allowed me not to get shot.
Surviving the keys, getting the donuts, and making it to ILP. That's
what's up.
Good to have you, brother.
Thank you.
And of course, we have the Lord with just the mere mention of his name is synonymous with the greatness that is PlayStation. Introducing the host of the JW YouTube channel and the creator of the iconic PlayStation contract. The Lord most responsible for making your favorite YouTuber jump ship, and the Twitter and the king of the Twitter gifs and the memes, if you know what I mean. Live from that shop in the screw, Houston, and making his return into the realm of the Lords, my man, Lord J-Dub City, aka Kratos. How you doing, sir?
Yo, what's up, everybody? Doing good, man. Can't complain.
There's the PlayStation contract.
My brother. There you go.
Don't worry about it. I'm a DM when you one of them contracts.
I don't like signing my life away to nothing, man.
What's going on? It's out here moving and grooving, baby. What's going on?
Exactly, man. Willing and dealing. Hey, Yoshida told me, man. We got bounties out here on dude.
Yeah,
all the big ones.
But they also told you you're a niche.
hey, that's the wrong Yoshida. That's the wrong Yoshida.
That's the one that's been assimilated already.
There's no unified message. There's no unified message there.
Your name is so many different things here lately, Kratos. How we know you ain't part of Google's little camp now?
Oh man.
Hey, you'll never know, sir. Every other day I change my logo. So whoever cutting that check.
This is so true. Like when I at him, I'm like, wait a second, is that Kratos?
I keep up with Kratos Twitter.
Yeah, hey, I'm gonna tell you, y'all already know I don't take L's. I will run from an L. So you get left to me to hand me that L.
And I wasn't even handing you out. I was just putting you for the statue for the KOS. And I'm like, because it's like literally every week I go to pull one in. I'm like, this dude changed his logo and his name too, like witness protection.
He out here, man. What you been playing, Kratos? And what you been going on?
Hey, man, I'm wrapping up that Days Gone. That Everybody's Golf VR. I've been on that. Some Dauntless on the PC. World War Z. So I'm back and forth on the Switch and stuff with Mortal Kombat and stuff. Yeah. So I'm everywhere, man.
That's what's up. Good to have you back, brother.
Appreciate it.
And of course, last but certainly not least, we have a Lord whose clear and concise content style, mixed with raw and uncut honesty, easily make him one of my top 5 dead or alive content creators in the game. Introducing the host of the iconic Weapon Wheel podcast, the Lord of PlayStation difficulty trophies, not playing old games, and still has Last of Us multiplayer as one of the best of the generation. Where's Brooklyn at? And making his return into the realm of the Lords. My man, Lord Broken Games HDR. How you doing, sir?
Yo, what's up, man? Glad to be here. I'm just curious. You said dead or alive. What dead content creators do you know? Like what?
Gotta put sauce on it.
And what I'm more curious is how did that R in your name
rhyme?
We gotta make it rhyme, baby. Come on.
Okay, I was just making sure. I'm like, are there legends around here that are dead in content creating? I just wanted to know.
Wow. 5 dead or alive. We gotta flip it on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Glad to be here. Weapon Will Podcast repping.
You already know.
There we go.
Oh, that's what's up, man. And you already know we got the 4 horsemen of gaming, those original lords here at the round table. My co-host with the co-most, my brother from another mother, the difficult game conqueror, and the how of the young wolf. My man, Lord Addict, how you doing, sir?
Doing pretty good. Currently sitting in a 30,000 line for Dauntless. I don't know. Like I don't know that this game must be like made out of gold or something for 30,000 people to sit in a line to play it.
Oh, you playing the game right now? Are we on the podcast?
I play a game every week while we're on the podcast.
Okay. Mute that man. Mute him.
Oh, let's go. We talking about games. You gonna bash me for playing games?
Let's mute him. Let's go.
It's always playing games during the podcast. That's what's up. Dauntless. That's all.
I've been playing. I was playing Final Fantasy VII, but I haven't been able to play my Switch a whole lot at work here lately. But I'm probably going to jump back onto that because we are coming up on E3, and I'm going to have a lot of time, like on the plane and stuff. It's like a 6-hour flight between here and LA, so
you got time.
I'll definitely try to finish that.
You actually going to E3?
Why would you do that?
Take one for the team, bro. Every
Look at this.
Every team needs that guy.
Just because Sony's not going, don't
every team needs that guy, bro. We understand.
Yeah. Well, the whole ILP is going to be out there, so
we go.
I understand. I understand.
Look at BG, because I don't want to go. No one should have to go.
Hey, man. Yo, listen. I told everybody in my podcast, I'm like, listen, I'm not going. Anybody want to go? Like, it's 2 free seats. They was like, nah, bro, we good. I'm like, damn, I'm giving out a free ticket to E3. Ain't nobody want to go.
Oh, man.
BG, why you don't want to go see that Inside Xbox E3 edition?
Hey, man.
It's 2 hours.
Hey, man, I heard they might show out. We don't know.
Hey, this time they bringing the red gloves, not the white ones.
Bringing them bloody gloves. Them knuckles is bloody, boy. They had to beat people into submission.
That's the gloves they used last week to beat Sony out of E3.
Oh, man.
Shout out to the Mangler Strangler.
And of course, we have our most technical gaming lord, the solo gamer who lives for the single player selfish experience, and also the Sostradamus, Mr. Offline Profile Illuminati, and Lord Patreon of the Iron Bank. My man, Lord Sovereign, how you doing, sir?
Chilling, man. What's going on? It's crazy this week, man. Yeah, man. Chilling, finally. got to relax a little bit this week, more than usual. Yeah, actually, you could turn the fraud light off, King. I played some games this week.
All right.
Oh, there we go. That's what I'm talking about.
They on the Switch?
But it wasn't the 2 games that you're supposed to be playing. Like the one game you done got me invested in that I have not finished yet because
it wasn't that one. It definitely wasn't that. Yes,
you know it would be even more epic if you beat that game without me.
I would be so upset.
I'll be messed.
I would be so upset.
But he probably with somebody else though.
He probably.
Because if I don't play with King, I have to play with somebody else.
Yeah.
It's only 2 players. So I picked up that Resident Evil 4 on that Switch, man. I haven't played it since the GameCubes.
You spent $30 on that?
Well, I had a lot of points, so it came to like $5. So whatever. Yeah.
Face.
I got my eShop points.
I think we need to give him an L just for buying $30 for one game.
Didn't you spend $500 on an Xbox?
No
games?
snap.
Nah, he didn't.
What the hell?
Nah, he didn't. He got the regular smuggler.
Yeah, look at you talking that you know nothing about.
he got the regular smuggler. He ain't do that.
The regular smuggler. First off, I have the S. Okay, the regular.
Oh, my
smuggler
bad.
It's the black one.
He said,
I got the whack.
I'm dead.
Look, I got the whack one. I got the whack one. Okay.
Okay.
Are you guys done informing on my section?
Yeah, we all jump. We all
guys
jump in
done
your
informing.
section. Yeah, we done with that. Bad boy.
So I also played. I got to play that the Neo 2 Alpha on a PlayStation, and I mean it's good. It's more Neo, which is not a bad thing. I mean Neo is definitely a different beast to like a regular Souls game or Sekiro, but that Neo is crazy, man. Just the customization options, all the damn weapons, like all the different like the magic and stuff. It's just a different beast than Sekiro or anything else out of From. So I'm excited to see what it is because it seems like it's just more of the same. Now they gave you a character customizer now, which made sense. And since in the first one you really like you're using all kinds of different helmets and armor and stuff like that, so you barely see your character's face anyway. So it had double axes that they added to the game, which is very cool. Beyond that, I mean,
like Gerald, like you kind of similar to as far as features.
Yeah, it was who? I mean, the King character. Yeah, the first one it was William. Remember, y'all gave me crap because I was like, yeah, the Samurai William. So I mean, I think it's great. I'm not quite sure when the game is launching, but it was a decent chunk of gameplay they gave in the alpha.
No doubt.
And that was it. That's pretty much what I did.
That's what's up. And of course, we have the incredible Hokodis, aka the XS Gamer.
Ooh.
The Lord of Combat Sports, King of the Statues, who demands nothing less than that premium experience and is the leader of the Fraud Alert movement.
Ooh.
Love it. Lord King, how you doing, sir?
I am doing fantastic. Welcome to the Voltron edition where all lions must get in line. As you can tell, Phil Dominus Spencer's head charge right there. Shout out to Phil Dominus Spencer. I would like all the knees in the basket to your left. I would like you to cut them off. Shea buttered them up because I don't want no ashy knees in the basket. Sign, seal, and mill them to Lord King David himself. See, this is my box for my knees. I'm collecting them. They have been shipped to me. I need more knees. This is fantastic. I
gave you a call for
bruh, who did this for you? Like, who did this for you? What a year does, boy. Like, you like leading up to it, like dudes is talking mad trash, and then it was like one day it was like boom, and it was like silence, like
what day was land. What day was
it was, I don't know what day of the week it was. I do remember though.
What event happened that made this?
It was a tweet that went out, and it was like the horrifying tweet. You know how you open your phone and you don't want to swipe left? Like it's like you swipe left on your own phone and saw something that you didn't want to see. Like, and these dudes swiped left and saw a picture that was like, yeah, we down with the squad. It was like, what? This is Photoshop.
So that's the Yoshida and the Satchel pictures. That's what we're talking about, sir.
Yes. And I ain't gonna front. I looked at the hospital records. Dude was in the hospital. They was getting defibbed. Ambulances was going to the doors. They was knocking, checking on people. Are you okay? Are you okay in there? Dudes was hitting the panic button. Oh God, I can't come back from this. This is crazy. I can't front. In one fell swoop, dude came in and took knee. It was like because they was having good like news, like all the way through.
King, would you like to do the honors, sir?
Okay, so my man Sean 786 said, "King, make sure you whoop Jay's behind." Yo, Sean, J Dub is my brother. Y'all really don't know. We really talk behind the scenes, laughing and stuff. We really laugh at this stuff. So, because we all got the same stuff.
Exactly.
But I'm not gonna front. It was like because they was having crazy traction, and things was moving forward, but then boom. Like somebody put a brick in front of the door.
You are out of control. Now we gonna get into the specifics.
Let's do it, baby.
We gonna get into the specifics. Other than that, what you been playing, sir?
Oh man, my Destiny 2 crack addiction has started all over again.
Back in the ground.
I've been playing the Reckoning so hard on level 3 because this is where the bougie comes back in. If you can't get to level 3, I don't want to talk to you.
You don't even rock.
Yeah, get off my timeline. Stop playing with me. I'm not going back doing level 2s with nobody. I got to do level 3s because I need that gear. And I'm out here chasing the level 3 gear. And it turns the game into something totally different. Again, it's like every other month, these guys is reinventing themselves. And I watched The Last Word. Shout out to Lordy Bontis.
Oh yeah, he was getting it in.
And I listened to you guys about the Opulence. Opulence.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so excited for that. Like y'all guys broke it down so my silly behind can understand it. And I was like, I understand people is upset with all the nerfs and stuff that's going down.
Yeah.
Oh man, you got to read that, man. Go ahead, man.
Salute Lynchman in the chat with the follow super chat. Let's get the green rolling in. Cheers from Germany to the ILP, the panel, and King David, Lord of the Knees. You got Lord of the Knees. Here we go, man. We gonna get into it. So that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah, that's it, man. I've been trying. I seen you jump on or whatever, but Def Singer, here you go.
Oh, Def in the building. What's going on, baby? Salute, Lords. Question for the panel: how long is Sony's E3 gonna be, and how many flute men we getting? And Jay sells more snake oil than Mark Cerny. Oh man, they already early.
Oh man,
we're gonna get into that, yo, crazy. So anyway, of course, we have the Lord of the Cooperative Experience and Gaming Ninja himself, the Shinobi, Lord Cognito. Spreading that realness in the realm of the ILP, not telling you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. So for me, Dauntless, I'm trying to do the same thing on all platforms. Same thing, Addict, man. I had the same problems. Tried it on PlayStation because I wanted to see the crossplay aspect and launched it on 3. I've just been having problems getting into the whole situation. So yeah, that's just that little MK on the Switch, Destiny, and all bit. But anyway, let's get into these topics and the reason we are here. The state of Sony. So we got the prediction series. We want to do a brief recap of 2019. Sony's been moving out here close to 97 million PlayStation 4 sold. You know what I'm saying? Release days gone. You know what I'm saying? It's just been a pretty much successful run for them. And then obviously the latest news, we've got the memorandum of understanding with Microsoft, as far as Azure servers. And then obviously we still got the Nintendo Switch moving and shaking out here in MPD and obviously taking it to Japan. So coming in, E3's approach. We know Sony's not going to be E3. We'll get into that aspect, but I just want the roundtable to discuss how we feeling about Sony 2019. So I want to give it off to BG first. So BG, let's set it off. Like, how are we feeling about Sony 2019?
2019. As far as games go, what are they? Okay, his Days Gone. So far, right? That's it, right? We got there's Dreams is in beta, right?
Yeah.
So everybody knows I've been ragging on Days Gone for a while. You know how I do. I pick on Twitter. I pick a target and I go after it for a while. Like I stay on target for a while until I get a new target to move on. It bothers a lot of people, but I just feel like somebody has to keep people in check. It's all about checks and balances. You can't have people. You can't have people just out here praising games that don't deserve praise all willy-nilly. So
man. So we're not impressed. I saw the review. You gave it like it was pretty solid. I felt your review of Days Gone. I felt like
I did. I didn't do a review. I did an impression.
Impressions. I'm sorry. Correct.
Yeah. So and I'm playing it right now, actually trying to get through it. But listen, everybody's just telling me, "Oh, you got to get here. You got to get here." Why I gotta get so far in the game to like start enjoying it? I'm at least 25 hours in, and to me, it's just very mediocre and pretty.
Okay. So the Sony they got him. They got him.
He been sniped.
He been sniped. They got him.
He back.
Oh, your shit is not playing.
I had to cut his shit off real quick.
I'm dead. He said I had to cut his mic off. And he back out.
He's back out. Hopefully we get BG
talking
back.
reckless.
Silversky, was that you, sir? I'm gonna let Silversky go, man. I felt he may be responsible for
that. Yeah. So everything that man just said, you can go ahead and just discredit. I don't know what's wrong with him, but that person who keeps dropping in and out, he must be on Xbox Live.
Oh my God.
This is coming from a guy who said Tomb Raider is better than The Last of Us. If you don't cut that still, come on now.
Language, Silver Skies. The Lord's Day is
I forget.
Sunday. The children. Think about the children, Silver Skies.
That's true. I apologize.
It's all good. BG, are you back, sir? I don't think so. He might be in the bushes still. So we're going to keep it moving until he come back.
I had to send my goons after him real quick.
Until BG gets back to finish his point.
The Sony police is crazy.
Lord Kratos, give me your state of Sony. 2019, how we feeling, man? What's going on?
Listen, I mean, 2019, you got to realize we had a spectacular year last year, coming off of the Game of the Year.
This is all damage control, by the way.
Wait. Hey, let me finish. Coming off of the Game of the Year winner in a handful of contenders.
Yeah, that's Spider-Man. That Spider-Man was outstanding. Tell him, Kratos, Spider-Man Game of the Year edition. That there it is. You're gonna tell me that God of War is back in the bushes, but that's Spider-Man.
God of War slander. We ain't gonna have that.
You see what it is. Spider-man color stuff playing.
Listen, I'll take it. I'll take.
All right, then you gonna get it.
I can't condone.
But you know what? That's even more impressive because think about it. Like I said, Game of the Year winner and contenders. That means you got more than one. So that's a good thing, right? So 2018 was a spectacular year, followed by this year. They're kind of starting off a little slow. They
fold up their tents, Kratos.
Oh my God!
I just want to be accurate with him.
Listen, here's the thing, man. When you stumping somebody's leg, you got to let them breathe every now and then.
Yeah.
So Sony said, "Look, we killed these boys."
So you're saying they're intentionally letting
intentionally they're gonna slow it down a little bit, take a little breather, give the guys their own E3 and see what they can do, and think about it, man. If you give the competition their own space, right, their own space, their own event, and if they still lose, then you got what you got.
Well, the battle's over, Kratos.
Oh my God! Here we go.
In some
Sony didn't even show up to the battle. Kratos.
I agree with you. But this here is a games game, right?
Yeah,
games game. This is not at the end of the day, we all know Microsoft can go and buy every company out there and swallow them whole. That was always a what do you call it?
PlayStation.
Microsoft really wanted to. They'll just cut the check and let that be that.
Yeah, we seen it.
So you're saying that they're trying to buy the way to the top?
Yeah, showed up with that money bag, and he ruffled. He showed people. They showed people, hey, we are the big muscle. Yeah. You may be the kings of gaming when it comes to this era, but our pockets are deep, and we can gobble that up if we want to.
That's real. That's crazy.
Oh my God! Yeah. Let's get Silver Sky here. So Silver Sky, about 2019, Sony. How are you feeling about PlayStation? Like how this year or general?
Let's just start off with the beta of Dreams. Is finishing out games that Xbox couldn't complete. I think I've already seen Scalebound being made on there.
That was nice.
I think I saw a Kraken's full body in that game.
That was good.
It's not using the cloud. It's quite remarkable if you ask me. So that's just a beta. We're not even talking about full-blown games. But the blood and truth of it all is that blood and truth is almost out.
Maybe they'll give you a 2019 E3.
Here's why, sir. Here's why. Because no matter what they do in a 2-hour show, Big Head Phil could be up there for 2 hours talking about.
Hey, hold on. No Phil. No Phil slander on your YouTube channel. You can slander Phil to death. No Phil slander here. This Phil Dominance zone.
He's probably addressing Phil Dominance.
Yeah, this is Phil Dominance.
It's just an observation.
I'm done.
Continue, Silver Sky.
So I'll continue. Thank you. So what I was getting at is that they can show a bunch of nonsense for 2 hours, and then Sony could go, oh, by the way, here's the release date for Last of Us Part 2, and guess who? And no one cares. Everybody forgot about Xbox.
But now here's the thing, Silver Sky, hold on to that thought because I definitely want to. You're touching on something I want to get to, but I just want to focus on what you felt about Sony this year. Obviously, Days Gone, you're a big fan of that. In general this year.
I enjoyed Days Gone. I wouldn't say I'm a big fan.
No, he had to correct you.
He corrected that. He was like, "Hold on, easy."
Yo, can I say something, Silver? How is this game? Because I want to buy it because that's my next Sony purchase, right? And I'm waiting for my Microsoft dollars to come in for me to actually purchase it. So my question is, how? Because everybody, it's like so polarized in this game, and I thought it was great from what I was seeing, and it's just. I'm getting too many either positive or negatives and not like really down the line. And you call it down the line. Please tell me exactly what's up with this game.
So I like to pair film and TV shows with my games because I don't play a whole lot anymore because I got really, it's a long story. If you care to know about it, you can watch the podcast I did with Wingy Gaming.
Oh yeah, great podcast, yo. I like that.
Thank you. So I had some addiction issues. You know, like always, BG keeps dropping out right before I call him out. But yeah, so I was real addicted to online games, so I had to quit all that kind of cold turkey. So and the reason why I say all that is because I now only play single player here and there. Gotcha. And with Days Gone, I went back and I watched what's that? The new show that just came out, Black Sunday, I think, on Netflix. So I watched that entire series. I watched I Am Legend again, which I think Days Gone has more in common with I Am Legend than it's as far as it'll make sense when you play the full game. But anyway, so I try to get myself hyped up through shows and movies and whatnot. So I enjoyed the game because I was already invested in that world. But I have a lot of complaints with it too. And they're kind of nitpicky because if you're going to bash anything Sony, a lot of times you have to get kind of nitpicky because even their worst is everybody else's best. Anyway, so
this is the fact.
J-Dub going in.
So Days Gone, I found really fun, but there's a lot of things that were jarring. Like whenever you go from gameplay to cutscene and then back to gameplay, that should be seamless, like in Red Dead or any Naughty Dog game or God of War, obviously. So that
hold on one second. We got to pay the bills real quick. Dizzy, E3 is for those who actually show up to show and tell.
Wow.
And Sean 786 King, I don't care. Jay is my bro. You better whoop him.
Oh my God! Continue on Silversky, and then we'll get BG because we like BG's back. But Silversky, finish off the Days Gone.
Do I sound okay, by the way?
Yeah, you sound good. We're just gonna let Silversky finish, and we let you
go
come
ahead.
back. No doubt.
That was kind of like white privilege, though. So anyway, so Days Gone's got some weird issues where it will fade to black in between cutscenes and stuff, and it kind of takes you out of the experience. And then it has, I'm a sucker for, like you said, limb separation and bullet damage, and it has some fairly decent bullet damage and whatnot, but sometimes don't make sense. Like whenever you're shooting that big giant thing, I don't remember what they call it, but it's like looks like Splatoon, like you're just painting them, like that kind of stuff gets on my nerves. But overall, I think the story is better than the average AAA game, but it's not,
So you would say it's like a B title instead of an A title?
Oh, for sure, yeah. It's definitely the score that it got on the NPDs makes total sense. But when you consider the fun factor, at least for me, I'd give it an 8, but the score actually makes sense because the technical difficulties, the loading, and sometimes the what I call slowdown is horrendous. So yeah, it's kind of like Sony's Quantum Break.
Yeah. What happened? Listen, what happened to Days Gone? By the way, King, I think it's a great game. I'm not going to say it's the best game, right? But what happens to this game is it ran into the Last of Us factor, and that's because so many people are anticipating Last of Us 2. They don't want to play anything else, and nothing else will be able to live up to that.
Yeah,
it's like Marvel.
Exactly.
Let me pay the bills right quick.
Yeah.
Hustling Mode with the follow super chat. I see y'all got BG in here. Also, I'm enjoying the podcast so far. Keep up the good work. Thank you, sir. Lord BG, are you back, sir?
Yeah, let me just say, first of all, it's not a coincidence. I was talking shit about Days Gone and got sniped. Just stay woke out here. Stay woke.
I'm worried about you, man.
They listening, man. They listening.
Let's hit those likes, guys. We got 92 viewing.
Yeah, put the likes up, y'all. Please.
It's like China out here, man. They don't. You say something out of hand.
Yeah, like he had to go run
with the cops early. I'm just
or something, man.
Nah, go ahead, BG. Go ahead.
Low key, strong censorship. So first of all, I disagree with Kratos. I don't think it has nothing to do with the Last of Us factor. I think the game is just low key kind of shitty.
Sunday language,
police, sir.
Okay, my bad.
For the children.
It's boo boo. The game is boo boo.
I like boo boo.
I like that.
I think boo boo's fun.
It's the boo boo. It's the boo boo factor. Okay, it's got nothing to do with Last of Us. All right, don't try to make it seem like, oh, it's because Last of Us is so good it made Days Gone seem so bad. No, Days Gone makes itself look bad.
Okay, BG, let me ask you this: if Days Gone had dropped on Xbox,
oh my God,
here we go.
Why do we always have to?
What would you have rated the game then?
You made an average to below average game.
I'm just putting
that game so hard.
This game would have been a game of the year contender if it was on Xbox.
If it was on Xbox, it would have been. It would have been Xbox's best game, but that's not saying much.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I want to say.
You would have said it was
brother.
You would have said it's his best game, but also I think Xbox is held at a different type of standard. To be honest with you,
real low.
So when
oh my God,
you want to do
this guy's on
right.
fire right now.
And what happens is people really lash out when it comes to Microsoft. So I understand why now it has to be. We got to buy them and make them shut up. So I feel what it's about. I feel that, Phil had to say, you know what? I'm sick and tired of dudes talking. I'm sick and tired of the traction. Cut the check. Yo, you need internet? You need internet? I got an internet for you. I got an internet for you. So I'm all about, him out here with the Oprah Winfrey handing out the internet to everybody, and everybody got a phone.
Back to 2019 Sony, as BG was continuing.
And I actually don't like comparing, I don't like the comparison of comparing Days Gone to Quantum Break. Quantum Break is a far better game. That's a far better game. I'm sorry. Quantum Break is a far better game.
Come on, BG. Come on, BG.
It's not even close.
Hey,
it's not even close, dog.
Let's go ahead and kick him back off. Let me go ahead and hack this again.
You're going to have to get the goons back. Silversky is not about that Quantum Break slander right now.
That Quantum Break gameplay was fun. The only thing, the Quantum Break is fun. It has way more fun factor than Days Gone. Okay,
this is controversial. I love it.
What has a higher Metacritic? Is it Quantum Break or Days Gone?
Probably Quantum Break.
I don't know.
No.
Addict, look it up for me.
It's 72. So
something like that.
Quantum Break. Reload.
Hey, I will tell you this, right? Where Quantum Break did not get a sequel, we know without a doubt Days Gone will be getting a sequel.
Most likely.
Unfortunately.
And that goes back to the structure of when you try something, right? If it doesn't, the first one doesn't knock it out the park, you got something to work with, right? So we know
Quantum Break got a 77.
Okay, what did
yeah, but it was on Xbox, so that was
oh my God.
That was an elite game.
I have spoken
lighting scare.
And I don't like Days Gone. Days Gone got me out here sounding like a hypocrite because when it comes to any original game, any original IP, I'm like every original IP deserves a sequel to make it better. Days Gone is the first game I'm like, I don't want another one. I don't want another one.
I gotta ask you this. Like, what is it about?
Is that bad?
What is it about Days Gone that you don't see the foundation there for a future sequel? I'm curious. Like, what is it about the gameplay mechanic?
I just think that they can find. Okay, one part of it is it is to what like Kratos said. It's not necessarily because of The Last of Us. I think they need to find their own lane. When the whole zombie and you can name them freakers, geekers, reekers, whatever you want to call them, they're zombies. Okay, the zombie game has been mastered by others. There's nothing original, and originality is a little bit overrated. Right. I will say that, but they're literally the only redeeming factor. In this game is the hordes. It's the what was the movie 10 weeks later or whatever.
Yeah, that was my joint. Yeah,
28 days later.
28 days. I don't know where I got 10 weeks from. Whatever. But that's the only
movie. That was the second movie.
Okay, that's the only redeeming factor is the hordes, and I just don't feel like this is the game that Sony Ben should have landed on when they were trying to find their masterpiece. You know, Guerrilla, they found Horizon. You know, of course, Naughty Dog is on The Last of Us, and you know, all these other studios found their thing to work on, and it was beautifully theirs.
Right.
This just seems like any studio could have made this. Literally any studio. It could have came from you.
I'll agree with that. Listen, I'll agree with that. This was a game that think about it. It was running on Unreal Engine.
Right.
You know, anybody could have made this game. I'll give them that. Again, I'm not going to say that this game is anywhere near any of the other top tier games, and that's why I think it was kind of thrashed a lot. Was because of that. And then keep in mind, the game was buggy as hell. It really was. They should have delayed the game.
Didn't they give a patch for that though?
Listen, they've been patching the game every day since.
Then you got to give them respect off of that, because by the time I get the game, I'm gonna get a good game when it's already patched up.
Okay, hold on. So I've been playing the game weeks in between, right? Because I've been busy. So it's like every week or two they release almost like a major patch,
right?
And I usually beat games before I really get to a major patch. This one I've been able to see the progress of patches, and it's really no different. You still run into bugs after every patch. Right. The AI is still trash, and I'm very forgiving when it comes to bugs. I expect bugs in open world games. I'm not the guy you see one. Like, oh my God, look at this. I'm not that guy. Right. I'm not that guy. But when it's just commonplace, I'm like, okay, you seeing this every 5 miles.
That it needed more time to cook at that point.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think the game was rushed, to be honest with you.
Let me get Silversky back.
The quality control was not there for this game, which has been something that Sony kind of prided themselves on with that, with a lot of their games. Look at Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, Spider-Man and stuff. They were not broken games, and I have ran into issues with Days Gone where I didn't play the game for a whole week because there was a bug in it that kept me from
aggressive.
I saw some weird glitch that he was trying to climb between a light post and a car, and it threw way up in the air like he's playing battle royale games.
Oh my God! Yo, Silversky, let's finish off the Days Gone thing, and then we got to get the Lords as far as Sony, because I see him chime in on.
I'm just curious to these other fraudulent PlayStation gamers. Does it matter to you if the developer has got a small team? Because like Remedy, they are extremely small in comparison to other developers. So in my opinion, well, for me anyway, I give a lot of pass. When it comes to the Order, for instance, I don't know if people know.
But no one gave that same criticism to State of Decay.
Oh, I did. I gave him a huge pass.
No one said it's a small team. We got to give them a break. No one said that.
Nobody did.
It's buggy.
I don't have a list.
I never saw one comment say that.
Nobody cared. Let's be real. Nobody cared.
Look here. I don't have a list, so I don't talk like that. I'm from the dirty South. So the other thing I was going to say, State of Decay or whatever, that game, it's made by a small group of people, just like The Order. The Order was majority made by 22 people until Santa Monica came in and then handed them I think it was 88 total developers. So, I mean, the Order, as good as that game looks, still holds up. It was made by 20 people. So to me, when going into a review, I kind of keep that stuff in the back of my mind because, to me, that kind of stuff matters. And what they did with Days Gone, an open world game with 100 people, that's quite remarkable. Okay. So that's my take.
I understand that you just want to get in it. Let's get the super chat real quick, then we get into the Lords. Death Singer, come on, Death Singer. The Last of Us is overrated in my opinion. Shout out to Cyberpunk and CD Projekt Gods. Also, I
actually agree.
Wow.
Who this mean?
Let's finish the chat.
Also, I can't wait for Sean to come on stage and bend the knee to Phil at E3. Salute your pettiness, Lord Death Singer. All right, Lord, let's get Lord Addict in here. State of Sony. What are you feeling, bro, coming in 2019? How you feeling about
coming in 2019 is really spooky.
And that's spooky to you?
But really? I think they'll straighten up the ship by the end of the year.
Okay.
I do think that it was a mistake to not even at least have a floor presence at E3. They didn't have to do a presentation, but I do think you not even showing up to the floor with your third-party titles. And I mean, obviously there's certain games that should be at least playable by now. I do think that's disrespectful to your fan base that's going to E3.
Fair enough. Lord Sov, how you feeling, man? State of Sony 2019. How we feeling about Sony?
I mean,
Sov's
it's been slow, man. I mean, you hear me?
I hear you now.
What the heck?
No, we can hear you.
Yes. Okay. It's been slow, man. Like, I gotta say, like, apart from the show and Days Gone, that's pretty much it. Because if it's not your primary console, you're not playing your third party. It's been slow. For my part, yeah, I agree about the E3 stuff. I think they should be there. I mean, if they don't have anything they want to talk about yet in terms of new stuff, yeah, it doesn't make sense to have a presentation, but definitely have a presence there and show off. Give your third party partners a platform to show off their stuff,
right?
And so they don't have to run off to Microsoft or whomever to show their stuff off.
Right.
And for the rest of the year, honestly, I think they're kind of folding up shop. I mean, honestly, unless we get Last of Us this year, which I think is going to happen. Everything else I'm looking forward to. Like, I'm willing to wait to play it as a cross-platform.
You break a little bit.
I don't think we're getting Last.
You might want to, for the most part, you might want to come on because you breaking in a little bit.
I don't think we're getting Last of Us 2 this year. I don't think there's no way that happens.
I think it is.
I think we are.
That's
it comes
that's
out
the end of the year breaker because next year they're coming out with the PS5 and
they would have made it E3 if they were announcing a release date.
No, they won't, and I'm gonna tell you why they wouldn't. Right. At the end of the day, The Last of Us is just any Naughty Dog game. That's a cult following. That's guaranteed to give you a minimum of 10 to 15 million. They don't have to have billboards and stuff all over the world like they had to do other games.
Right.
And that's just what it is. They can listen. We all know on this panel they can shut down the whole E3. All they did was build the stage.
I don't think that's true like that.
If they drop the release date in a trailer, it's over.
I think people talk about it a lot, but I don't think it would overshadow E3.
Yeah, Kratos, I think that's a little bit disillusional because and the fact that we already know that it's coming, it's already know that it's baked, it's already know what we're gonna see. They can shut it down with showing new stuff, as far as shut it down. But as far as grabbing a piece of the news cycle, it would definitely get a big share of the news cycle if they give you the release date because people can anticipate that day. Just like you said, I believe that day that the game comes out is going to sell 10 million. I'm going to buy it. So I'm going to be playing it. So I honestly believe that part. But as far as shut down E3, no, you're going to have more consistency to shut down the E3.
You're literally going to announce something and then like 4 hours later another conference goes and it's been shut off.
Yeah,
that's how the media goes. They come along what's new.
But for me, like I said, Sony's real good at their petty.
At their petty,
man. Like, I've said it from the jump. I would not put it past them to announce it during Microsoft's conference.
I don't think they will. I think they'll announce it after the conference because the point is they don't want the media going at the individual times. They want them at the same time because they want their outlet, they want that release date to overshadow what's being talked about at the conference. Now, if you do it during the conference, by the time the actual news comes out and people start putting out the information, it's not going to matter.
I know we're not getting into the semantics of the actual time, like of the day when they do it. We're just talking about
the announcement.
We're talking about the news cycle.
Yeah. But I do have a quick question. We've got 114 people. Go ahead and hit that like button.
Hit that like for real.
And go ahead and put. I'm curious what the chat has to say. Put a 1 if you think Last of Us is coming out this year, and put a 2 if you don't think it's coming out.
You gotta put it in colors because I can't read none of that.
I don't think it's coming out
this
year.
Colors. I
don't think it's coming out this year. I think Naughty Dog is very capable. They have one of the biggest studios and one of the largest staffs. And
that's not true.
For the Sony studio, the first party. I'm talking about for the first party. I'm not talking about just
because Sony don't.
Bigger.
I'm not just talking about in the industry in general. Like we all know, like Ubisoft. Like Ubisoft is bigger than Sony.
Wow, many people don't. The chat's saying too, y'all. Many people don't think it's coming out this year. Wow.
I don't think it's coming out this year. I don't think it's coming out this year. Not because they're not capable. They can definitely grind, and they have the talent and the numbers to get it done and release it by like October, November. But I don't think they even want to release it in October or November. They don't like doing that. They love that springtime. They've already
been into several crunches this year, though. Just as an example,
right? They love that springtime. I think it's coming out spring next year, and like by that time,
I think it's coming out early next year too.
Yeah, I don't think PS4 hasn't hit 100 million yet.
It's
I think
right at 100 million. Yeah,
they close.
Okay,
so then what? If it's not coming out this year, BG, then what do you think they use to push consoles in the fall?
I don't think they have to.
I mean, they're going to sell
I don't
consoles.
think they care. Why do they need to push consoles?
Yeah.
They already at 100 mil. They don't need to push nothing.
Oh, yeah.
We're in the end game. We're talking about PS5 now. PS4 is irrelevant.
Yeah.
They're already going on display and showing the difference in loading time between the consoles.
Yeah, I don't think they really care about the PS4 selling that much more anymore. Like it surpassed everybody's expectation. Right. It's only not going to pass the PS2. That's it. So I don't really think they care about the sales of it that much anymore.
No doubt. Lord King, you want to get your state of Sony real quick before I jump in?
All right. Well, this year, let me see. I was really anticipating Days Gone. And regardless of what anybody says, I'm going to purchase the game anyway, and I'm going to play the game, and I'm going to enjoy the game for what it's worth. Because what I saw about the game actually intrigued me to the point that I can knock out the noise. Now, I like what Sony has done so far this year. The state of play. So excited. PlayStation 5 might be 2021, I believe.
I think that's way too late.
So yes, so excited. Sorry, it's coming next year. So
I don't think so.
You got
you don't think PS5 is coming next year?
No, I think it's early 2021.
No,
really?
Like already
that would be crazy.
Yeah, it's like already confirmed.
That would be a death sentence.
Imagine if they did come out in 2021 and Xbox dropped next year. Like, do you think that would help Xbox?
That would be a death sentence.
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think it would be a death sentence because all they would need is something really good as a launch title.
That's all.
But there has been times where coming out sooner helps a lot.
It'd be something. Anyway, so
launched a year and like a year later after the 360, but on top of launching a year later, it launched without Rumble in the controller.
But
it launched with no
it's gonna launch a year later with inferior tech.
$200 more. That was a whole different ballgame.
Inferior tech. They can't launch inferior tech a year later.
You
gonna tell me that it's not gonna be inferior to the Xbox Anaconda? You gonna tell me that? I'm gonna put my hands on the line with you right now. That the Anaconda gonna smash.
I agree with you. Okay. I honestly believe the Anaconda.
No, we need a bend the knee segment. Someone make one right now.
Listen, I do believe that Anaconda will be more powerful. But here's the thing: right now, the world's weakest console, the Switch,
is
the world's most powerful console. So power does not matter when it comes to that.
Talk that Switch talk. Talk that Switch talk.
The difference between look at the PS4 Pro and look at the X, right? Well, now the X is more powerful, but at the end of the day, the Pro has the games. It has the benchmark, Horizon Zero Dawn, Spider-Man, Days Gone, and all these games.
All these
games want to play and buy to showcase that tech. We got the X, and all we got to show for it is a bunch of multiplats running in 4K. And they need more than that. They need more than that.
We're not gonna step back from resolution. We're gonna attack resolution, like we said. Native 4K is a big thing, so we're gonna respect that as the big thing that it is, and we ain't gonna sit back and talk about resolution. Don't matter when it mattered before. But it matter now.
Put it like this: Sony's checkerboarding in their games look way better than the native 4K.
TV you play,
but God of War,
God of War on my TV, and I got games that like Red Dead that smoke it. But we're gonna keep it real. 4K, 4K. And it's sub 4K. It's sub 4K.
So is that the reason they came up with the Xbox One SAD edition?
No. Listen. I didn't purchase that. That didn't hit my radar. I'm premium. I didn't even hear that. That thing, it didn't even launch in my section. I didn't even understand.
Here's the thing, right? Yeah. You can skip native 4K when you already reaching for 8K, baby.
I don't know why you
shout out to Mark 20 for that. 8K, baby, all day.
8K all day.
Any day, all day. Hey, by the way, shout out to Sony. You know that. I got my Z9 G and going to be unboxed.
Oh, you doing your AK Z9? Let's go.
My new channel. So look out for that. AK all day, baby.
Yeah, yo, Kratos. I'm not on front. If you brought it for that PlayStation, you might as well take it back to the store right now. But that Anaconda worked it out for you, baby. Anyway, like I was saying with this Sony, State of Decay,
thieves, baby.
State of Sony right now this year.
The
I
saying
feel that Sony's state of play is fantastic, and they adopted and they listen to the criticisms of Xbox show, right? And they actually just give you games and they put it out. Sometimes it's not good, but this is how they're going to trickle information to you. So because they don't have an E3, right? So the way that they're doing it and they piecemealing it to you, they're giving you fan service without disappearing from the whole the news cycle, right? So I believe going in this year, like everybody's going bagging on Days Gone, but I honestly believe that was a good game to set up the Last of Us for the end of the year. I think The Last of Us sets up for the end of the year.
All right, hold on. I got Addict, and then I got Silversky. Addict, you want to say something? Then I'll let Silversky talk.
I just just to bounce off a little bit on the whole resolution talk thing. Like I do think that for the past couple gens, resolutions really mattered at the beginning, but I don't think, especially for Sony, I don't know what's going to be available at launch. Like, I don't know what their process is. Maybe we'll get a Horizon Zero Dawn sequel.
Gran Turismo 7.
Yeah, shut up. I don't, for particularly Sony, I don't think power is going to be as big as a plays it has been in the past couple gens, because they've never had this kind of a stack when it comes to games going into a generation up until now.
Okay, fair enough. So, Sky, you up, and then I want to finish this point on state of Sony. So you want
yes, sir. So, addicted to L's. I don't know what that guy's ever talking about, and he just spreads misinformation. But Lord of the Statues. So, I have a question. I sense a lot of green coming from you. Yet, I don't understand how we're supposed to take you seriously when you're still playing Destiny.
Oh God! You shouldn't have said
that.
Okay,
talk about it.
Look, you don't have to deal with it. You got to deal with all of us.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. Hey, man, I'm with you. Anytime somebody still tell me they're playing Destiny. Hey, man.
BG and Silversky linked up on that one.
Hey, man, I'm just saying, bro.
You know, a lot of times people can't understand a real good quality game if it's sitting right in front of their faces. They playing Days Gone. Let me explain. Let me give you my defense of Destiny.
Good.
All right,
because
it's sold more than any game that you're gonna put up.
Man.
So whatever game that was your game of the year last year, my game is still being played. All right, so and the content is still there and people are engaging. Them raids is crazy. So they talk about the next raid is going up and they changing. So we don't see your games out here because they're not amazing. So you got to really think about what I'm telling you right now, because those games can't even phase us. So you make sure that you understand when you're coming for Destiny, you better bring a shield, baby.
Somebody play the organ.
Listen, let me tell you.
Somebody play the church organ.
Exactly, because you're going at the wrong game, baby. Maybe you playing wrong, baby. This is what I got to tell you right now. You ain't playing good because you're playing wrong if you ain't playing Destiny. So definitely just pull up, sit next to me, and we can get you through this raid, or we can get you through that hard stuff that maybe you can't do. Maybe the looter shooter thing ain't for you, but make sure it's
Reverend.
So the best looter shooter right now is out there is Destiny. So you're gonna put up something else. Don't tell me about anything else because it don't touch it.
Preach it, Reverend.
Let's get it. So it won't be no Destiny slander here, baby.
I have okay. That was a lot of word soup. That was nice. I
know some people can't play. Some people's stomach get a little bit nauseous when they playing first-person shooters. I understand.
I would step up.
Stop playing Destiny.
Yeah, okay, guys.
I got you, baby.
No doubt. What's up, everybody? What's up, in the chat? Let me jump in right quick, because we never gonna get off this Days Gone and Destiny thing. I just wanted to finish with the state of Sony. Look, man, at the end of the day, look, they still the de facto force of the gen. You still had the hardware sales. You know what I'm saying? Software sales is doing their thing. You know what I mean? To me, they own cruise control, right? You already know last year, like Kratos said, they had the God of War, they had the Spidey. You know what I'm saying? Days Gone is solid, but not for everybody. But I mean, the thing to me, though, the elephant in the room, and I don't think a lot of people want to give it credit, and Solve will agree, is, the Switch, we're not really talking about their threat. I know we keep making this an Xbox thing, but they've kind of taken over in Japan, man, their home country. You know what I'm saying? Like where they started at. I mean, then the last 5 NPDs, Nintendo Switch has one. You know what I'm saying? Now the argument can be made that, yes, Sony's at the end of the life cycle. I get that part, but I don't want them to underestimate coming into the next gen, Nintendo as a competitor. You know what I mean? So that's all pretty much I got to say. At the end of the day, I want them to kind of finish strong. We'll see what happens. But we're gonna move on to the next place. We got a lot of
we got a super chat.
We got a super chat real quick. Smitty Smuff, can I get an amen? I'm still playing Destiny 2 also. That's what I'm talking about. That's right. The church is in session, even though BG and Silversky don't like it. Moving on. All right. So we're gonna get into some partnership talk and aftermath. And some news dropped. Obviously, we know about the cloud division talk, the agreement with Sony's AI and Microsoft Cloud Azure servers. And we saw Yoshida, we saw Satya up on stage bringing things together. Community was in a bit of a tizzy with that. And then obviously we heard the aftermath of that, which is, some people in Sony management, they felt blindsided. They didn't see this coming, and stuff like that. And then the third part of this whole thing was obviously the recent statements by Yoshida and him saying that the console generation, with consoles in general being niche, and that kind of set things off. I want to start this off with Kratos. You know what I mean?
Right.
We never got a chance to talk about the partnership, so we want to talk about the partnership.
Okay.
Talk about Sony's reaction internal, and then the whole niche thing. So give it up, Kratos. Let's see what you got.
Well, I'll tell you what, this was something that nobody can say that, my insider source told me this was going to happen. This happened at, the wee hours of the morning. And it was shocking because
Kratos, time out. Kratos. I don't mean to interrupt you during your talk.
Yeah,
but I told you that y'all was gonna bend the knee and you laughed at me. I want you to go back to the last time you was here, and I told you y'all will all form Voltron. That's why the Lions is here right now. And I told y'all that y'all will be assimilated, and you told me when pigs fly. So I want to know right now. Look out your window. Is that bacon slinging out there in the sky? Because that bacon is slinging out there in the sky. And I'm
trying to understand what happened though. The man said a sentence. Has anything changed? I'm trying to figure out what happened. He said a word and nothing happened though. Like what change happened?
I'm gonna go ahead. Let me stop sugarcoating this. This is how the Xbox community see what happened, right? You've all think about it. For the last 6 years, you have been in despair. And you've lost, right? You've been getting mollywopped for 6 years. So in the console game, in the console space, when it comes to gaming, that's a wrap. It's over. Xbox was already done for this generation. People had already moved on to next generation. But what happened after last second, Microsoft dropped the money bag, and now the guys are trying to make it seem like the last 6 years of losing every single NPD has been magically erased. Now, here's the thing about it, right? When you got money,
PlayStation hasn't won in 6-7 months.
No, it's been like 5 months.
You got the stats on deck, yo.
Yeah. Because here's the thing, right?
When after winning like 30 in a row.
Yeah, when you've been winning like 50, 60 of them in a row, like NPDs is nothing anymore, right? It's over. It's
notice no one talks about NPD since PlayStation kept losing.
No. This is why Nintendo doesn't even come into the fold, because Nintendo had to go into a whole nother generation in order to even make any dent.
Yeah, I give you that.
The Wii U is supposed to be competing with the Xbox One and the PlayStation. Okay. So let's get that. If
they had to tumble the whole football to make a new one.
If Microsoft would have said, "Look, we failed with the Xbox One, we're gonna go ahead and move to the Anaconda next generation," and then they start doing well, that's like what Nintendo has did, right? So, but I do give them props for starting over and calling a failure and moving forward. I give them that, but you don't get any brownie points when you already collapsed and started a whole new product, right? So
I feel you.
We'll catch up to them next generation. They already in their next generation. So they're not even in the game. But this is what happened, right?
Notice how he just disqualified Switch whooping his ass.
Listen, but here's the thing: is the Switch is about to move into second place. So if you want to look at it that way, then where does that lead? That leaves Xbox in third.
Oh, wait a second, but as far as money's being made, Microsoft is the king with that. Okay, because I understand with the least amount of systems being sold.
That's Jay Barry would say they got the money.
It's about the money. Look at the
money.
The world's most powerful, the world's richest company.
No, I'm talking about the gaming division. I'm not even talking about what you're talking about. I'm just talking about the gaming division. Your gaming division versus this gaming division.
No. All the stats say that Sony rakes in more revenue with PSN, with games, with software, hardware, and all that. So that's you really ready to go on record for that? I mean, yeah. You ready to do that? Because I
let's
can do
talk
it
about the partnership. And
Okay. So let me go ahead and wrap my thing up so you guys can talk. So what happened right outside of the gaming realm? You had the big boys talk. You know, the CEOs of companies say, "Look, we know we compete when it comes to gaming and stuff like that." But we are focusing on something else in business. We're talking about cloud. We need some sensors. We need some semiconductors. You guys need a cheaper price because right now you're paying Amazon all this money for your PSN and Xbox Now. I mean PS Now and stuff like that. Let's work out some business that had really nothing to do with gaming. But on the flip side, having those servers would allow Sony to implement stuff within gaming. So that's how it is. So it's not like there's this Xbox takeover of PlayStation, but that's how we spin it, right? Because we joke going back and forth or whatever. At the end of the day, I think maybe 2 years from now we'll see what the end result is going to be from this partnership if this even turns out to happen. All right. Now, number two, what you asked me. Number two was. What was the second question that you asked me?
About the partnership. I'm gonna ask you real quick. Shout out to Stitch in the chat with the follow super chat. Bruh, stop the Nintendo slander. We talking about real console. Wow. All right, the second part is about the Sony employees not realizing that corporate Yoshida's made this at the top level and feeling blindsided and feeling upset. Like, yo, how could y'all do this? How could y'all go to Microsoft, you know what I'm saying, without letting us know, kind of thing? In the
That's because they're scared they're gonna go to work and get a pink slip. It's like, we don't need you no more.
No. I'm gonna tell you why. That is kind of messed up to them because they feel like, look, this whole generation, we've been doing everything right. We've been busting our humps, right, delivering quality hardware, software, VR, everything else, doing everything right to show people our platform, our ecosystem is the best place to play. And you turn around behind our backs without us knowing, right, and cut a deal with the competition without involving us. Right. So now people are like, hey, what the hell? So I do understand that that's messed up, but I do realize at the end of the day, it's all about the top dog.
Business.
It's all about business. Hey, Nadala and Yoshida. Those are the two top dogs for the Sony Corporation. And the last question, sir.
Last question was Yoshida's comment about the consoles market being niche, and a lot of people are upset about that.
That is 100% true because they actually showed the chart, and this is what I don't like. Right, gaming has always been centered around a console in its own particular market. Right. But what everybody else is trying to do, with Phil Spencer and now Yoshida trying to do. They're trying to add other people who's on mobile phones, who's on tablets, who's on all kind of other stuff that we wouldn't consider part of the gaming. They trying to mix them into the fold. And obviously you have billions of those people compared to us small couple of 100 million actual console owners and gamers. So right now they're basically telling us, hey, we understand, we like you guys, but you guys together collectively only come to be 150 million. We're going for these guys who spend $100 a month on Candy Crush. So they're focusing on the bigger games, and that's scary to me as a gamer because I've always been into the console realm ever since Atari 2600. Absolutely. I don't want them to start catering to those guys and leaving me out, meaning coming with these little small piecemeal type apps or games and trying to sell that to me for whatever.
Just to clarify, Kratos, they're pulling we want 2 billion gamers, right? Like they're officially jumping on the Microsoft train to broaden the horizons as much as possible.
But that wasn't necessarily Microsoft's. Microsoft didn't start that. Obviously, everybody. You got 7 billion people in the world. If Microsoft couldn't get 50 million people to buy their console, and then they're going to have a bigger scope for two billion.
Hold on, Kratos. They kind of did, because when Phil came on, E3 ago, and he said, Xbox on every device. Yes. And that was a talking point. A lot of the internet was like, see, you guys are going to get the games over here and that kind of thing. So we kind of got to admit that they are mimicking.
That is true. They are. Listen, I'll give that up every day of the week. This shocked me. This shocked everybody. Yeah. It does see, like right now, people asking me, hey, do you think Sony games are going to be ever? I can't even tell you. If you asked me 2 weeks ago, I would have told you no.
Facts.
Now, I'm willing to say probably because if that's the way it's going, at the end of the day,
hey Kratos, let me
they don't care about. It seems like they don't care about us
anymore. He can't wait to play Days
Kratos, let me ask you a question. Being that we know Game Pass is a foregone conclusion on that Switch, do you think that Sony would definitely fully just chop off both leaves and arms and put Game Pass on the PlayStation?
Hey, that's the thing about it. I honestly cannot say what Sony would or wouldn't do at this point.
Right. Let's get. I'm sorry.
Okay. Cool.
Good, Jay. All right. Let's get BG. Then we get Silversky. BG, what are you thinking, man? All right, about the partnership. The some Sony employees feeling slandered, and then the whole niche thing.
I mean, when it comes to a lot of these, statements and deals, because I read something that the partnership was just like them talking. They didn't actually sign any documents or anything. No paperwork was done.
An agreement of understanding. Yeah.
Yeah, like so. Honestly, it means nothing to me until like there's some paperwork. And I only said it because there's always talk of like things like this happening. To me, this stuff is like it's like trademarks. You know how we always get rumors of a trademark and like 50% of the trademarks and nothing ever happens. Right. That's how I look at this type of stuff. Even if something does happen,
though, BJ, I just want to cut you once. The only difference I see, I feel what you're saying, because you are right. Technically, right, it is not signed. No one's put anything to paper in an official sense.
But I too forward facing with this stuff.
Right. The only thing I think is different is when you make an impression, a visual statement of the head of Sony and the head of Microsoft now making a picture in a press release. It does feel a little different, though. That's all I was going to say. But continue.
Yeah, I still feel like, okay, and when something does come out of this, like something does come to fruition, it's still going to be many years away. Like as far as like cloud, I still, I still believe that cloud, it being something that we would use well over physical media is very far away.
Gotcha.
Physical media, actual physical console will always be the preferred method. Like as far as I can see, I still think in the next 10 years.
I feel
like I'm not saying it won't get better,
right?
But I don't think it'll trump having like a playing something natively. Right. Yeah, I don't think it's ever
like 5 to 10 years out. Like this is a future proofing move as opposed.
Yeah, it's investing into it for the future. It's like how they, did. It's research and development, but it's not something for the right now. So I don't really care about it. The PlayStation, the next PlayStation and Xbox is going to be, it's still going to be from a physical, box, and it's honestly, gonna stay that way for the next generation. So I don't really care about the cloud right now, and I think the Stadia is going to be irrelevant. So. That tells you how much I feel about the cloud. I think that joint is going to be irrelevant. Nobody's. It's hype. It's a pipe dream.
Fair enough. Part 2 of the question: Sony's employees feeling blindsided by the move on the higher up level.
Hey man, when you ain't at the top, shit happens, bro. Shit happens, bro. You not at the top, bro. Hey man, maybe you didn't have that type of clearance, bro. Maybe I was above your pay grade. I don't know what to tell you.
What about their employment, BG? What about over their shoulder, man?
Hey man, y'all make these games. There was nothing in this paperwork that said we would tell y'all everything.
Hey, this is the set man that didn't care about the crunching on price.
I would be right. Like, listen, everybody knows I'm not the most heartfelt person when it comes to developers. I'm gonna be, listen, Okay. Oh, boo hoo! I make $100,000 a year, and Sony didn't tell me
him about it. I'm
about to go home to my nice house with a chimney and a jacuzzi. And Sony didn't tell me something. Like, okay. Oh, boo hoo! Go cry on top of your money pool.
Part 3, Yoshida's comment about the console market being niche.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is when you look at it from like 100 million isn't a lot when we think about what could be. Of all the people in the world that could be playing on a console, could be playing video games. Yeah, that is niche. It's from the perspective of what consoles have done in the past. 100 million is good. That's based on the comparison.
Right.
But yeah, I don't got a problem with what he said, and I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think it makes any difference either way. I'm like, why is this even like
so people in their feelings?
Yeah, I don't know why it was such a big topic. He said it was niche. I'm like, okay, what does that change? What does that mean for gaming?
Fair enough. Lord Silver, need your feeling on. Here we go. We were feeling on this whole memorandum of understanding between Microsoft and Sony, and then Sony employees feeling blindsided by this move of them trying to link with the cloud Azure servers.
Let me start off by saying, hold on, my wife is holding up notes. Go away, woman. Damn.
Regulate your household, Lord Silver.
So I, unlike everybody else on this panel, called this in 2014 in a video called Writing on the Wall. And I spelled it out with pie charts and graphs and what have you. So it was very detailed on why Microsoft is going to do what they're doing now. And I'd also like to say the whole Play Anywhere thing was not stolen by Sony. It was the other way around because PlayStation Now was already in full operation before Xbox even announced that. So
Facts.
Yeah, there's that. Okay, and the way I view it is that let me see. I think that they started the dialogue. Why are you still holding up notes, woman?
I'll be out soon.
Oh my God!
Hold on, let's make it real quick. Eternal Shaddai Eternal. With all the game streaming, does this mean that Xbox Play Anywhere becomes obsolete? Microsoft is trying to be on all devices. No, Eternal, it will not become obsolete. Actually, it makes it more relevant in this day and age.
Hold on, Silversky, we got to get. He's controlling his situation. Let him
rock. There we go. Get it.
I'm good.
I can't believe he said that.
I'll be out soon. He's about to hit her with that.
BG, stop it. Continue, Silversky.
What did he say? What did you say?
He said, did you go say you'll be out soon?
He said you confident plea, like you confident plea.
Mr. Duck has got some jokes. Stay in your lane, BG. You've been dodging me in Uncharted 4 and Last of Us for years. Stop it. Stay in your lane.
I'm a busy man.
No, I think the reason why they actually got together and started a dialogue was because they are trying to combat the actual 800-pound gorilla, which is Amazon.
Yeah.
They're playing the long game and they're getting smart. So, and I don't think I've been in that video. I was talking about how Microsoft as a company and their entire mantra, if you will, is to be agnostic when it comes to hardware. They want their software on as many devices as possible. So it only makes sense for them to become some sort of third-party support for everybody. And what I mean by that is I envisioned back in 2014 when I made the video that they would implement their Azure cloud as an example to work with everybody. And it's only going to help boost the gaming industry. I think it's good for everybody. I don't see it as a negative. And whether or not, we'll see Halo and Gears and stuff on PlayStation, to me, it's all irrelevant. I think Sony's a little petty when it comes to that sort of thing. So I don't think that will happen necessarily. But I just see it as good news. I don't see it as a bad thing.
I think old Sony is petty when it comes in that regard. I think once new people was put in position, it was more palatable to what's to come.
Got you. No, that's what's up. I hear what you're saying on that. And the last thing, Silver, as far as the whole niche thing, is that overrated? Are people overreacting?
No, I think that's a way to frame how you attack the next generation. So if you look at it like, how are we supposed to duplicate 100 million consoles? You get kind of overwhelmed by it. If you frame it as this is a niche thing, and we need to quit looking at this as a we're trying to reach as many people as possible. Instead, we're going to hone in on the niche group and really maximize our results from last generation. I think it's just a way of framing how you go into the next generation. I wouldn't read too much into it. It's more of like just get people talking like we are right now.
No doubt, no doubt. Big talk, corporate street. Lord Addict, are you there, sir? See your mic muted. I don't know if he's back. We may have stepped away for a second. Let's get Lord Saw.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, okay. Addict, what's up, man? So what you feeling about the partnership and stuff like that, and then the whole niche thing?
I just think it's a classic example of Sony doesn't. I think Sony's like half foot out. They see the trend. They think it can go that way. But at the same time, they're like, we don't want to invest in case it doesn't go that way. So they're like, so what's the best case scenario? Most people, they hire people to do stuff like that. So they don't have to, back when VR was going to go on Xbox, people were, giving Microsoft a lot of credit. It was like, okay, use Vibe so you don't have to make your own.
Right.
You don't have to invest millions
upon
millions.
VR is on Xbox?
No, back when it was.
Here we go. Okay.
No, they got that thing called HoloLens.
Here we go.
But I think that's what this is a case of. I think that they do think it's going to go that way, but they don't want to invest their own money into that kind of service because in case it doesn't, and to be fair, maybe they don't really have the capital to invest in just something like that because it costs a lot of money to make that. It's like $1 billion every station that does cloud computing for Microsoft. Like it's not cheap. They did have more options. I'm kind of curious why they went with Microsoft. Maybe they gave them a better deal.
That's what I'm gonna get into that when I talk too. That's an interesting point. All right. So, and what about the niche thing? People overreacting when you should have said that.
I personally think people overreacted, but at the same time, this is the internet. Sony should have realized something like that would have annoyed a couple people.
No doubt, no doubt.
I'll be right back.
All right, no doubt. Actually, real quick too. I'm actually giving it to Solving King, but I wanted to ask y'all. I forgot to ask y'all this, and this go to BG and J-Dub. What do you think if Phil Spencer would have said consoles were niche?
Oh, people would have made a big deal out of it too.
I think it would have been.
But people would have been like, "Oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about."
I think we would have had people like Kratos
exactly
putting on Twitter. It's like your old man's don't believe in your brand now.
Back, come on. Is he back? I think he's.
I'm here.
I said, if Phil would have said niche though, would have been
that would have been a name change. You know that would have been a name change for Kratos. You know how that goes.
He would have been
Kratos.
Niche Kratos.
Yeah.
Niche box and all that. Because remember, like when what was it? People always attach to these certain words that these execs use in their statements. Remember, what was it? Scarce when he said the PS4
sparse.
Sparse. Oh, Sparse Station. I'm like, they always love they as an exec, you just got to be careful. I don't think there's nothing wrong with the word he used. Just know whatever word you use, people are always gonna make it negative and like highlight the word and make it into this big thing.
Well, and this is why, for example, like you got Phil, Aaron Greenberg, Mikey Barra. Those guys are always on Twitter, right? You never really see Sean Layden or Yoshida or nobody from Sony camp in the know on Twitter about, you know what I'm saying, about stuff. So so Sony probably they don't know what's going on in Twitter streets and in this whole console war thing, man. So they
you trying to say that Sony is not internet savvy? That will explain a lot of things. I mean, it would explain a lot of things that bending the knee to people that understand a little bit more about how the internet works.
I gotta pay the bills real quick.
Because listen, they are thoroughly aware of how to keep people talking about their products and their stuff. They are the masters of marketing and keeping.
But you can't have it both ways, then,
right? They're the masters of that.
Hold on. Before you guys bicker, let's pay this bill real quick.
Okay.
All right. So shout out to the PS4 Pro, failed native 4K, Days Gone scoring lower than Phantom Touch. Sony bending the knee. Xbox is the best box. Shout out to Phil.
That's Phil dominance, sir. Phil dominance.
But we got 130 people in the chat. Definitely hit that like button.
38 likes in
Come on,
there.
y'all, stop being lazy. Just hit the button. Come on.
Y'all entertaining, having a good time.
Well, hit that button and Kratos will become Xbox Kratos.
There you go. I'll put on that X symbol on my chest if y'all hit that like button.
Hey, I'm dead.
Hey, y'all know I'm gonna be at E3 at the Xbox Fan Fest. So
good.
Y'all know I'm gonna show up with an Xbox shirt on, but halftime I'm gonna rip it off like
good. So y'all can get it.
I'm just gonna sign people up. That's all. I'm just
y'all
there
can get a chance to see a couple of pictures with me and Kratos there.
You know what's funny? Those fan fests, they actually make you wear certain things almost every year. I don't know if they did it last year. Yeah, so you're gonna wear something like it's a beast, Kratos. How you feel about this?
Talk about the greatest.
Kratos doesn't care about that stuff right there. Kratos will put on the Xbox shirt. Like he said, he's down for the bidding. The top dollar pays for his way. So he's at Fan Fest and they definitely gonna pay his way. So he's gonna definitely be an Xbox that day. But what you were saying, like it kind of perplexed me because you told me they was internet savvy but internet stupid at the same time, and I'm just trying to figure out where are they really at, because making statements like that will set a fire on the internet.
Right.
But also you said they're smart enough to make that statement. So was they playing stupid and made the statement, or was they really so smart that they tricked them into thinking they was stupid?
No,
I just gotta figure it out.
King, this is what happened, right? You got to realize that Yoshida, not Shuhei Yoshida, but I think it's Kenshiro Yoshida.
Yeah.
He is new in that particular role that he's in making statements, right? He hasn't been necessarily the mouthpiece. It's always been somebody else. So when he goes out there, he has to speak for all of Sony. That means Sony movies, Sony music, everything. He has to speak from that standpoint. But that's why you don't let those particular guys have the microphone every time. You know, if you out there repping PlayStation, I mean Yoshida, Mark Cerny, everybody else, they know it's PlayStation all the way. Whereas the other Yoshida, the head guy, he's like, yeah, I like PlayStation.
Wait, you said those guys are Sony all the way. Those are the guys that didn't get the memo that they had switched camps, right?
Some of those are not the guys. I agree with that.
Okay.
I agree. Hey, and it even came out, even the Microsoft team didn't even know as well. So you know that this is David and Kratos, you know, at the bar having a drink, being men's men, cutting a deal without the wives and the kids and everything.
I feel that.
Yeah, man. What are you feeling about this whole thing with the partnership and the niche thing?
Like I said before, like this is going with the devil that you know, and the devil that you know against the devil that you don't know, and that's, you know, regardless of how people feel about Stadia and how close we are to actual real cloud integration of stuff. The fact that they got, you know, a boatload of money that they're going to spend on this, and they're coming, regardless, you know, how successful they are or not, they're coming. So why not? I would prefer that the big three in gaming side with each other and, you know, form some form of Voltron amongst themselves, and, you know, and use Microsoft's Azure. So to me, from a business perspective, it's perfect. Now, the niche thing, no, forget about it. I'll wait on the niche thing. The whole thing about the Sony employees being pissed off. Yeah, I mean, again, you're a worker bee. You're a worker bee. You're not privy to what's above your pay grade. So it's like BG said, like, listen, you know, you have to roll with whatever the big boys decide, and that's it. Now, one thing I do question a little bit is that you got to be careful about the morale, right? Like when if they were so blindsided by this, that means that the atmosphere there was like gun ho Sony, screw Microsoft, it's us versus them. That's what it felt like, right? Because why would you react to that? Why would you react to a business decision like that unless it completely blindsided you? Unless
my bad, I'm changing to my mic.
So all right, cool.
So unless the atmosphere at Sony is us versus them. So I can see some people even feeling betrayed by that, right? And who knows how that affects the studio in and of itself or PlayStation as a whole. So you got to be careful with stuff like that. I understand, like, you know, decisions are made at the top that you're not privy to and you don't have any input on. But when it's something like this, that's always been this competition specifically with one opponent, it's it can be jarring that all of a sudden we're kind of on the same side. You know what I mean? So I don't know how that pans out, but I think it should have been handled a little bit better. And the niche stuff, gaming has always been niche. It's from the very beginning, it's been niche. And the difference now is that the goalpost has moved. Like if we take the amount of consoles and people playing games now, and we transplant that to 10 years ago, all of a sudden that's mainstream. Like you're talking about nearly 200 million consoles out there in total. Like that, now you're talking mainstream 10 years ago. Now, because nobody was thinking about reaching billions upon billions of people, on a phone, on the web, with the cloud and stuff like that. That wasn't something that was a prevalent thought. So now that goalpost is moved. So now once again we fall into the niche category where it's like, okay, you guys are cool. You guys sort of drive the conversation around gaming because we're doing it right now. But at the end of the day, you only matter those first 10 million sales. Those first 10 million sales of any console generation is you guys, is us. After that, how do we get the other 100 million people in that we want to get in, right? Yeah. And that's the what they're trying to figure out. And that's why we'll always be niche. We'll always be the driving factor behind the tech and behind what's most exciting about these consoles. But at the end of the day, once those first 10 million are sold, it's how do you get that dude that doesn't game every single day to buy your machine or to buy into your ecosystem.
Fact. Lord Sovereign, are you an Xbox guy?
I am. Yeah. Okay, I mean, that's my primary console.
That makes sense because you just said a whole lot of words with very little context.
Let's pay these bills real quick. Let's pay these bills.
Hold on, we're gonna pay these bills and let Silversky explain and rebut. Shout out to Game.
Yeah, please explain yourself so I can rip your new one.
Oh, hold on.
We're gonna get out of here. Let y'all rock. He said, let's be real. The CEO doesn't think they can reproduce the overwhelming success of the PS4, tempering expectations before the generation even starts.
I think that might be a serious thing. Like, I think that might be a little bit close to their mindset.
Wrath of War with the $5 super chat. PS4 bending those ashy knees with a secret bush tattoo on their chest. Don't have the balls to come to E3, and yet Nintendo and Xbox are going. And then Jemiah Dixon with the $5 super chat. Thank you, brother. Next gen will be more of the same, and all of this will be forgotten. Both fanboys need to go sit down and worry about paying for online PC Master Race. All right.
What's your remark to that second super chat?
Stuff was made between Silversky and Sovereign. We got
let's clean that up.
You disagree with what Sovereign is saying. Why is that, sir? And then Sovereign, you get a chance.
No. That's not what I said. I said basically he was going on and on, just droning. I couldn't pay attention. It was kind of like E3, a lot of just big. A lot of words and then just very little actual content.
Okay,
that's all.
That's what you said.
World exclusive. What's the marketing terms they use?
Console exclusive.
Yeah,
world premiere.
World premiere.
But here's the thing, Silversky. What specifically do you disagree with what Saul was saying? I'm very curious.
I have no idea. The way he was delivering it, I
didn't like the way it was coming out.
What? You didn't. So you have an issue with English? That's cool. You don't. English is a problem for you. I understand that. That's fine.
He does play on PlayStation.
Oh my God.
He does. Hey.
Keep it respectful, gentlemen.
Okay.
So are you good at it, King? Did you finish off? I'm sorry. I guess.
Oh yeah, apparently I am.
All right. All right. Cognito, could you frame the questions for me, please, so I know how to attack this?
Yeah, man. So pretty much, like I said, real quick, the agreement. Obviously, we know what happened between Microsoft and Sony with the Cloud Azure and the AI, and then obviously the employees, somebody on a middle to lower level, being upset, being blindsided, and then the whole statements by Yoshida about consoles being niche.
All right. So first of all, let's start off with this the agreement.
Mm-hmm.
The agreement that I knew that was coming. Like I told people and everybody was like, King, you're crazy. Like you're crazy. It's not going to happen. And I was like, yo, them knees will be mine. And it was a definite fact. Like, and I got all respect for Lord Phil Dominus Spencer. And I knew visually when I told you he was Xing out those dudes on stage and he's the last man standing on that stage. When he stepped on that stage, he knew that dude was gone and that dude was gone. And dudes laughed at me and said, no way, Reggie's out of here. Principle and all of respect, much due to Reggie. That's crazy respect on that. You were not bending the knee. Reggie said, this is not going to happen on my watch. I'm out of here. And And as far as that was Layden that was in position on the side.
No, that was Andrew House.
Yeah, I don't be knowing them dudes because they don't make themselves available on the internet. They be hiding in the bushes, peeking their little face out, and they only want to give out numbers when it's
trying to get to 100 million consoles.
Yeah, that's a fact. It's a fact. It's 100 million, but we making the same money. Now this is the part right here, the part that makes sense. When Microsoft, when y'all was building 100 million, Microsoft was building workstations, right? When y'all was getting it up and y'all was like, yeah, we out here tearing up these streets, Microsoft was like, you're gonna need us soon. And they was out there building up these workstations so y'all can actually have good internet, because y'all know if y'all play on a PlayStation 4 and y'all understand what it's like you're playing on a PlayStation 3. I got a PlayStation 4. I'm not gonna front. I don't like the internet, and we don't like their services, and we're gonna keep it true. Now, Game Pass has definitely surpassed y'all when it comes to online gaming services. Y'all was out first, right? That's what you said. Y'all was out there first, and y'all last. You're dead last. You're dead last right now. So, but it's not a us versus them because y'all team now. So it's not a us versus them. It's not. It's we versus the world. You understand? I gotta change Phil's name from Phil Dominus to Phil Borg, because it's the Borg. You have been assimilated. We have got you into the hole right now. You know what happened? Y'all was trying to fight it off for as long as y'all could fight it off, but y'all realized at the end of the day, we all one team. We all one squad. Y'all all will rep the X. So I do appreciate the fact that the cloud gaming and all internet services will definitely be provided to you by Xbox, and it's a good thing because we know the Xbox Live is far superior than that PlayStation stuff. And I like going forward what it looked like. I love what it going forward look like. Now, as far as that niche thing, if Phil would have said that niche thing, the internet would have blew up, because when he said single player games were a thing of the past or something, I forgot what he said, but he phrased it.
He said, I'll tell you what he said.
Yeah, tell me what he said.
He said single player story driven games don't cut it anymore.
They don't. And then you said, right after that,
Nintendo,
God of War,
and Sony said, "Hold my beer."
Technically, he said, technically, he said single player games don't have the impact like they used to. That's all he said.
Yeah, and Kratos, you're right. Like when you looked at it, because Sony, that's their whole joint. Single player experiences in the corner. They're not about what their strengths aren't, and their strengths weren't multiplayer stuff. So you're going to talk about a company whose strengths is multiplayer and inclusion, and you're talking about a company that is seclusion, right? So of course their views of it will be different. But when Phil steps out there and he's visible, like you said, a lot of these Microsoft execs are visible and they're seen, so their words carry weight. Now, the fact that this blindsided a lot of people when he said it was niche because y'all thought y'all was top of the food chain. Y'all thought y'all was bigger the biggest, right? So when he said y'all was niche, that minimized you. And people don't like being minimized. So that's why the internet went into a tizzy, because
dying to respond to
they didn't like being minimized. Like, yeah, go for me. Go.
May I have a thing. Okay, Mr. Johnson.
Yes, sir.
You talk a lot about bending the knees, but aren't you like 12'13"?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have so based on common sense, you have black bond knees. So the only person bending the knee is you. Now stop. So here's the thing. So Xbox, what they did was they realized that they can't beat Sony, so they're like, screw it, we'll join them. How is this negative?
How is Microsoft joining Sony when it was the other way around?
No.
So you're saying
wasn't the other way around.
It's not mutually beneficial?
Wait,
I'll tell you, it's not the other way around. I'm going to tell you why. This is why it's not the other way around, right? Sony has already became dominant in gaming. This is why they had no need to go to E3. When you don't have any competition in that specific realm, there is no need to do that, right? It's not like Microsoft. It's not like Microsoft with a gang load of exclusives. They're going to show up with a bunch of multiplats that will be playing on the PlayStation and the Switch and PC and everything else. So, but what Microsoft did, right? Microsoft is focusing on cloud in their Azure servers, right? They're cloud-based business. That's what they're focused on. They've already failed when it comes to the console.
That's not, okay, you know what? I got to rebut.
Last generation, there was at 90 million consoles sold. This generation, they barely pushing 40.
Okay,
So
they had 50. Stop that. All right, so what we're gonna do is listen. I got to rebut something with you, right?
Okay.
Because you definitely made your statement. It was cute. You're not going to E3 because you got no games, but you're going to E3 because Microsoft said come join us because they got games. Now, Microsoft went out and brought studios. You said they were worrying about the cloud. No, they was worrying about multitasking, right? So Sony only focused and they zeroed in. They got Game of the Year. Right? Game of the Year zeroed in. Microsoft said we're gonna spread it out. We're gonna make sure that this cloud of gaming is up because these dudes gonna need us soon. So we got to have a strong back to put them on. Right? So now that isn't it a good thing that Microsoft was worrying about those cloud stuff? Isn't it a good thing? Because you would have been under Google right now, right? You would have been under Amazon right now, right? Yeah. But you like the way it felt under Microsoft a little bit better because they got games.
I gotta ask Silversky this because you made a comment that a lot of people seem to not agree with.
Yeah, okay,
as far as this whole who came to whom and all this stuff. Silversky, let me ask you this in reference to Sony's.
Oh wait, hold on, we missed the super chat.
Yeah, I apologize. Yeah, Jason Elliott. He said, "How did they clean up the online experience? You can't always play with people. The harassment is real. I feel that. Definitely got to clean it up." But Silversky, I just want to ask you this in reference to Sony's infrastructure from a cloud standpoint. You felt that they didn't come to Microsoft. They didn't need that improvement to future-proof themselves. I'm confused on that part.
We would all be speculating. So I won't say anything that's fact because none of us know. I will say that they bought Gaikai and they have more direct individual servers dedicated to gaming than Microsoft. I know that because a friend of I should see. This is going to sound like I have an insider. Blah, blah. Okay, look, here's the thing. It has nothing to do with gaming. This guy he owns his own cloud services type company, and he on a regular basis goes out to Microsoft's what do they call those things? Whatever the underground, it's like a huge football stadium of just servers. A lot of what my Xbox Live is what do they call them? It's not dedicated servers.
It's Azure. It's Azure dedicated servers, though. I'm confused.
No.
It seems a little
prior to Azure, because Azure was in the works for a long time. Prior to that, Xbox Live was primarily I'm forgetting the term. It's virtual servers. They weren't dedicated to Xbox Live like they misled you to believe. Xbox is full of fake news. The point is that PlayStation already dove into the dedicated servers a long time ago. They just allocated it to the wrong area. They didn't put it into PSN. It's not integrated with PSN like it should have been a long time ago. It was more dedicated to PlayStation Now, which to me was a bad move.
All right, I'm gonna read the super chat.
Let's get this super
Philly Eagle with the $10. Sorry.
Oh wait, were you missing one first?
Okay,
so excited.
Callie with the $2 super chat. Sony buying studios as well for next gen.
Sony's buying studios?
Yeah, they out here. They purchasing them.
Philly Eagle with the $10 super chat. Sorry, but that's a bunch of stupidity. Sony, like many other companies, are now a customer of Microsoft. Sure, Sony sold more hardware. Guess what? Microsoft still made more money than Sony off software.
What did that money get you this generation?
It got y'all to bend the knee.
Five studios.
No.
That cash. That cash is the direct result of your needs.
Listen, 6 years.
A customer of Microsoft. Like,
listen, as a gamer, right? At the end of the day, we all in here because of games. We're not in here because of other business dealings and camera lenses and sensors. And I'll speak on that right after. But we're here for the game.
Right.
And at the end of the day, Sony can get in bed with Nintendo and Google and whoever, as long as they keep providing me them big mega hits and Game of the Year contenders. That's all I care about. But at the flip side, it seems like people focusing in on these servers and not the camera sensors, the semiconductors,
the AI aspect,
and the AI tech. Absolutely. So it makes it seem like let's just focus on what Microsoft
is getting
from able to sell to Sony and not what Sony is able to sell to. Well, Microsoft. We got to be fair about this.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. So, all right, Kratos. To answer your thing, like in any type of partnership, it has to be a give and take, right? It can't be, we're just gonna provide you this services like that. I honestly believe, and I hold this to be true. I wanted to get back to how it used to be, where gaming was a feel like you felt like if he had a PlayStation, you can go over his house and you could play it, and you had your Nintendo or whatever, and it was shared. They got to get to that space because I don't care what anybody say. Those White Walkers is real. That situation is real. If Netflix decides tomorrow that they want to jump into gaming, you know, they have the platform to reach you. So these things is real, and you don't want to lose out on what it is. So I understand they have to deal with each other, and they're gonna have to share tech through. So don't think that Microsoft is just out here purchasing these dudes or you know, getting a check from Sony to get down with them. No, there's a partnership involved in this, and they will be sharing technology with each other.
All right, let me real quick.
I agree. Let me say this real quick, just real short. I agree with that 1,000%, David. And I'm gonna tell you why. And I will go there because I think somebody in the chat probably mentioned it earlier.
Yeah.
Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo see Google as the big boogeyman. These guys, think about it. These Google owns the internet. They literally owns the internet. They already in everybody's household. Forget Microsoft trying to be in the household. Google is already in your household.
Yeah.
So they figure if Apple and Google and all these other guys, these big people, are able to come in and take all of our pie, take all of our food, we all got to eat at the end of the table. We got to eat at the table together. So we need to band together because, like he said, console gaming is niche. When you think about 2 billion other mediums out there and ways to get money. So maybe this is why it's like, hey, we'll put all the charades aside, but we're going to band together right now to keep these big giants, the White Walkers, from coming in and disrupting.
Absolutely. Real quick, Chris used super chat. He said Trump's thinking about 25% tax bills on our favorite gaming console today. Gaming Arcade Podcast had a lot of info on that subject. Thank you for the super chat. We're not going to get into the politic aspect, but we do recognize what you're saying. Philly Eagle, $5 super chat. Last thing, play what you want. Stop being a fanboy. We don't play sales. We play games. And all the games I like and look play on my Xbox. Okay. All right. So look, I'm gonna jump in real quick. We gotta move on.
Was that the case prior to the X?
Oh my God!
And all his games on the Xbox prior to the X coming out.
Yeah, and all that 720 glory. We was out here with the bleeding eyes. So,
you know.
Look, man, let me jump in. This is hot. This is all y'all making good points. Look, at the end of the day, in my opinion, what Sony's doing is a forward-thinking move. Like the Gaikai acquisition, I know what you're trying to go with that, Silversky, but at the end of the day, it was never a true performance solution over the cloud infrastructure of what Azure is doing and where gaming is going, and that's going to be the streaming. You know what I mean? So you either got to go one of three places. You got to go to that Azure, you got to go to Amazon, or you got to go to Google. Like Kratos is saying, those are the three best equipped for the end game. Especially if streaming is going to take off in another 5 to 10 years or whatever it is that it actually gets to that point where it's, market penetration, 5G, low latency, yada yada yada. 2 billion is the goal. You know what I'm saying? Now, what's interesting to me is I'm surprised that Sony didn't go with Amazon, though. That surprised me. So to me, when I see that to me is a testament to how impressed they were with Microsoft Azure.
It boils down to the money, because they said Microsoft's Azure service was 94% cheaper. Then right now they're currently with Amazon.
Right.
For the PS now, they're currently with that. But the cost of that is astronomical.
Right.
So they're looking for the long haul. If Microsoft, if we can partner with these guys at a 94% discount, and then probably even cheaper since we're going to be exchanging tech and meeting of the minds and stuff like that. That makes sense. That's common sense.
No, it makes sense.
It's a money game.
It's a money game on the big level. I feel where you're going with that. The only thing I would say is that it is interesting because it's like you're future-proofing yourself. I guess you're saving, and then also you're doing this exchange. You're giving the AI and the image sensors and all that stuff. I completely see where you're going with that. It's just interesting because obviously they're going with the enemy they know. You know what I'm saying? And listen, at the end of the day, all I care about Kratos, all I care about those guys is at the end of the day, if they are all on this Azure backbone, we're gonna get that cross play. We're gonna get that cross progression. You know what I'm saying?
We ain't get none of that.
Well, we got. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, to me, as gamer, that excites me. Online communities being together, and to me, when you see stuff like Fortnite and Dauntless in the early stages of what crossplay can be with all these communities, PlayStation, Xbox, PC, Switch, all playing together, that to me, there's no excuse now because everyone's under that umbrella.
Okay, Locanito, let me tell you this, right?
Go for it.
This is what scares me, right? What scares me is the other day we had Xbox Live down.
Oh, here we go.
Now you throw in 100 million other users, 150 million other users,
right?
On that.
Right.
Now when it goes down, we all down. You can't jump on your PlayStation, you can't jump on your Twitch, and you can't jump on your Xbox.
You're gonna stop because you know that PlayStation is down right now as we on this podcast. They down right now. That's why you're doing the podcast right now because PlayStation is down.
Amazon.
In fairness to Rexo, mad people been having problems with this Hangout, but jump on Google survey ain't been lit right now on this Hangout. Just in fairness,
y'all just spread more fake news. If you follow Xbox support and PlayStation support, Xbox Live is down on a much more regular basis than PlayStation. Facts.
Right. We also want to talk about cloud Azure.
The difference is one that.
Azure infrastructure is more far-reaching and way more superior than Gaikai. Lord Silversky.
Oh, for sure. That's not what I was. That's not what I was getting at.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, networks go down. Networks go down. I mean, that's just the nature.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Especially when 90% of your user base is on it. Like, I can't say that for PlayStation.
Oh my God!
They have more people on their service. We talking about?
Okay, so you're gonna tell me what's the percentage? What's the percentage?
I don't work with these people.
Okay, because I honestly, a lot of people got PlayStation, but they're not online. A lot of them
they just dropped the stats. They say there was 94 million PS Plus accounts.
Yeah, it's accounts. I'm talking about online, active online. I'm talking about engagement, baby.
Busy with the $5 super AWS servers are awful anyway. Most of these free-to-play games are cruddy servers just using AWS. Source: I suffered through Arc for years. Okay.
That must be what Dauntless is on to make me wait for 30,000 people to get on that.
I have a quick question. How come I can get online and play The Last of Us without any wait time?
Because there ain't nobody there.
No,
just you.
No, that's what I'm saying. No. I can get in and find a match with no waits.
There's nobody playing that. That's literally just you.
Hey, to be fair, there's more people playing The Last of Us and Uncharted multiplayer than people that are playing Crackdown 3 that just launched.
There's actually a lot of
I thought you was gonna go to Destiny because I'm not even playing Crackdown 3.
There's actually a lot of people playing. That multiplayer is so slept on. That game is so damn old, right? But you turn on that game right now, you find a match, no exaggeration, 2 seconds, automatic, and no matter how long.
Exactly.
You know what else I can do that on? You know what else I can do that on?
And do it on Gears. I'll tell you that.
I can do that on Destiny.
Maybe that's just the algorithms they use.
Stop it with the algorithms. If you don't,
let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I don't think it's no algorithm because with like Gears, which is a much more recent
hold
game.
on. Jack has told me multiple times that if you try to look up it on ranked, you can't find a match half the time.
I've never got on Last of Us where I couldn't find, no matter what time of the day. Like I could go on 3 a.m. in the morning. It's an instant match.
No, Uncharted 4 ranked. It never worked.
Uncharted 4 is different. I'm talking about Last of Us. They combined the Gears servers.
That's because they got a good multiplayer.
Yeah, but I'm saying they combine the Gears servers with PC and Xbox, and you still can find games on there.
And you also, how come you can still play Killzone Shadowfall, a launch title, faster than you can play Gears or Crackdown? If you don't,
I don't know. I don't think nobody's playing, so I think that's why you can find it fast.
People
I
playing.
really think y'all same 4 dudes.
I just don't understand how you. Like you're saying, I've never had a hard time finding a game on Halo. It's almost instantly.
Nobody said Halo.
You said Halo and Gears.
No, I said Gears. I said Gears.
He said Gears and Crackdown.
All right, look, we gotta move on. We gotta move on. We got too much time. We gotta fly through. Listen, let's get into this PS5, and we got to talk pricing strategy. How can they come through on the next generation? Obviously, you know what I'm saying. Like, what are the things that can excite you the most for PS5 in the next gen? So let's get this, Lord Silversky. You set this one off. What are the things you're most looking forward to that you want from PS5?
Not talking about PS5 because it's irrelevant. Right now, I am worried about playing The Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding, Blood and Truth, Concrete Genie, the full game of Dreams. There's just too much to play.
What the?
He's not buying a PlayStation 5.
Concrete Genie look better than Dreams. Let me just say that.
He's not buying a PlayStation 5, fellas.
I'm
We
not
just
interested in none of
officially did knock that out the park. So
the PlayStation 5 is irrelevant. Why are we talking about? We still got great games coming out.
So hold on. Let me clarify.
Great games with no release date.
I was about to clarify, Lord. So you are convinced that those games, Ghost of Tsushima, the Death Strandings, Last of Us, they are definitely coming this generation as opposed to PlayStation 5 launch titles.
Yeah,
why in the world? Why in the world?
Sony just said so themselves.
Okay.
Right, but why in the world would you not utilize 100 million user base?
Yeah. Absolutely.
That makes no sense.
Absolutely. So, but my question, because we are talking about PlayStation 5, or what do you think they're going to launch with? What do you think the strategy is?
They're going to be able to just basically a quote unquote backwards compatible remastered version of those same games.
I feel
that's the move.
Well,
that's all they can.
The launch titles for the PS5 are going to be.
It don't matter.
How does it not matter?
No, they drop greatness every generation, sir. It don't matter.
Let me tell you. All right, let me first of all let me answer that question for you. So first of all, they are going to be semi relying on the backwards compatibility of the major games that they released at the end of the PS4 generation. Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us, all of that, right? They're going to be half depending on that, and then you do have Guerrilla Games, whether it be like because there's rumors of them working on multiple things, whether it be a Horizon sequel, it could be that, or whatever their other studios are working on. Those may be also launch titles, or because this is very plausible, and let's be real, it could be nothing because Sony historically are either just average to mediocre when it comes to the games they release at launch. They're just not. They don't. They seem to not care as much as they should about launch. They care about. They start caring 40% through the gen. That's when they're like, okay, let's drop all the hot shit.
Let's turn up. All right. But what now? Let me ask you this, BG and Silversky, also in reference to, I forgot this point, in reference to price point for PS5. I think this is
you talking about the one BG had to finesse his way out of the bed.
What do you think it comes through at PS5? We're hearing about the tech, we're hearing about the ray tracing, we're hearing about the SSD sounding lit. You know what I'm saying? All these high power features. Do you think they come again with the 400 and take the loss on the hardware side, or just because of these robust features they're talking about that they gotta be 500? What y'all thinking?
I think it's dictated by the state of the economy whenever it launches, more than anything. I think it's hard to speculate at this point because the economy could be way better, so at that point it could be way more. And if the economy is starting to suck, then they'll have to come off their price.
Would you pick it up at 500? So Scott, would you? If it's
I stay broke, I couldn't afford $200.
No doubt.
All that premium stuff that's in the background does not support your financial status. I'm not going to sit here and allow you to sit here and slander your wallet when I'm looking at all that stuff back there. Sorry.
6 months of layaway, sir. Yeah, I still use layaway.
And you know what? And they will have layaway ahead of time for that PlayStation 5. So you can stop that, sir.
Yeah, I'll be all
preach.
Trust me.
No doubt. BG, what you think they coming through at, man? With the what's up?
Yeah, but by the way, just for the record, I want to say I made that bet with Smooth way before any of the talk about the SSDs and all this
How
fly
does it
jiggy
feel
stuff.
that you had to finesse your way out of a bet because you was about to lose this week?
Hey, I always appreciate an opportunity to flex my finesse skills, so I'm not even mad about it.
BG, what was the bet?
I pretty much bet Smooth that the bet was that the PS5 would be $400. If it wasn't, then I would buy him next gen Xbox pretty much, and if it was, he would buy me the next PlayStation 5.
BG, you can still win that. Just call it inflation.
Whoa, that could have been a finesse. But I settled with him. I offered him a settlement, and I pretty much said if you accept this offer right now, we'll pretty much
the original bets.
We'll erase the original bet, and he will guarantee no matter what the price is, he'll get what I said 6 games out of six next gen games, which equals up to $300. So
shout out to BG Lord Finesse. That's your name.
Wow. I think you should have just rolled that all the way to the end of the pond.
Nah, I'm good.
he said no. I'm gonna get in these now.
I'm gonna take this settlement and get out of
the settlement. Get out of here quick.
I feel
good
like,
on that price. Good on that price. All right, no doubt. Lord Kratos, what are you thinking, man? Like PS5, how they attack this thing, and what about that price point, man?
Well, I'm gonna say at launch, I believe, because they've kind of demoed a few things. I believe Gran Turismo 7 is going to be there for launch, or they're going to try to do that right in the beginning. They already built a GT Sport based on all that stuff. What other games could come? I don't
what do you
know.
Need, though? I need what Kratos need. What do you need for them to set this thing off? PS5
release date. That's all he needs. Let's be real here.
Listen, as the king of racers, give me a Gran Turismo or give me give me a launch MLB, a next generation MLB.
Gross.
Oh man, and then think about it, right? We still got VR, so the VR that we have, we're going to be able to work on the PS5. So give me some of those, some more of those titles. So to tell you the truth, most people, because of this generation, they're already sold on the PS5. So it didn't matter what price it comes at. It doesn't matter what, they're already sold because they're looking for the sequels to the games that they got.
Kratos, may I interject real quick?
Go ahead.
Here we go.
Okay. I just want to add, here's what sells PS5. I forgot to mention this. Kratos versus Thor. Drop mic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's coming out on launch.
But that's, man, that game there is another 3 to 4 years.
It don't matter.
I think that's maybe a year or two after. No, they're not.
So then we can get the complete God of War game that was supposed to come out.
Oh, facts. My God. Facts.
That was a reach. That was a reach. That was a reach.
No, Silver just told me facts because you can see Asgard in that damn game, and I can't read that. No, I'm so sorry, man.
That was a reach.
There ain't no trilogy. It's called you couldn't fit that content in there. And y'all wanted to milk my pocket. Shout out to Spider-Man.
Ref overreaching.
That bitch is a follow the field. She's a follow the field.
It's overreach because first of all, the amount of content that was in that game, because
the regurgitated content.
Okay, first of all,
play it harder now.
The amount of content. Let me explain something. The amount of content that's in God of War blew even my mind. Nobody expected because they told us it was only gonna. We heard from Corey that it was gonna be like 20, 25 hours.
It was exactly that.
No, it wasn't. No.
Unless you played it twice.
No. The game was not 20, 25 hours. It's only 20, 25 hours if you literally only did what you absolutely needed to beat the game. Right? It's way longer than
my
that.
joint is I did everything and I did all that stupid extra stuff.
You fought all of the dragons.
Yes, I did all of that. I killed all of them. I did it myself. Go check it. It's called Xbox. Go check it right now. It's called Xbox. Xbox level 01 on my PlayStation.
What's your gamer tag on PlayStation?
That's right. Xbox 360 level 01.
I'm gonna check that. And
King,
also,
we need David. We need to make sure that you didn't put it on
easy
mode, man.
Kratos, listen, yeah.
Kratos,
I put it on casual. At no point in time you're gonna shame me on how I play.
Wait, hold on, because there's shady stuff. People out here sending people they save files.
No, yo, BG, no, I played the game myself. Actually, I gave it big up, but I thought Spider-Man was a better game because it was a complete game.
But let me say this. Let me say this real quick, right? Okay, so people are saying, like, some people. Right, it's incomplete because you could see some other realms that you can't get to. But here's the thing, right? They never meant for you to go to every single realm, because if you can get to every single realm, there's a whole bunch of things that you can access that you shouldn't be able to access yet. So what are they going to do? Are they going to, are we going to not put these realms there, even though people obviously know they exist?
All right.
And just pretend that they shouldn't be there. And then in the next game, suddenly, here's the realm that you couldn't get to.
When you're using the little wheel thing, like they had to be on the wheel. Like,
all right,
it had to be there.
All right, BG.
Wait, real quick.
You went and purchased your car, right? Your car got 5 gears, and you can only get to 3 gears. Are you gonna take that car back? Are you gonna be satisfied with your vehicle?
This is like saying any game that has an expansion or a sequel is incomplete.
It is not there.
That's like the same thing.
I want to buy Asgard now.
Who told you that was supposed to be in the first game?
Well, the game showed me it, and I can't get
it. Okay, hold on. Spider-Man showed you the other boroughs.
Oh, you know what's crazy?
Facts. He got you.
Get off the podcast.
You can only see. You couldn't go there.
So BG, you want to go to Queens, baby? You want to go, baby?
So BG, go home.
I'm out.
You ain't like that.
I'm out.
Let me interject real quick. Here's the thing about God of War. Okay. Yes. So if you're using your reference,
it's too late. He beat the hell out of me already.
So using your reference of the first 3 gears out of 5, right?
Yeah.
Well, the first 3 gears are the best. So the 4th gear and 5th gear suck anyway. So who cares? But what I will say is, here's my problem with God of War.
Right.
You get to the stranger fight, and that was by far one of the most epic battles I've ever experienced in a game ever. And here's the problem. When I play all the other God of Wars, the very first boss fight, you're like, damn, this is the first boss fight? I can't wait till the last one because they always got better.
Yeah.
Well, in God of War, that was the best part of the whole game.
That's what
and they never
I disagree.
That was the worst part.
Of course you do.
BG's back.
Well, I feel you, Silver, because I felt the same way. I felt that, fighting the ogre and same ogre, same animation, same thing over again. But I understand where you're going with that, because I thought also that first epic battle set me up for a fall.
Because you thought at that
I was
point
looking for it. Yeah.
BG counter, and then we got to get
the Queen Valkyrie was the best boss fight in the game. Just saying.
Oh yeah, she was out of control.
No, she made me way too mad. I can't get on that.
Well, I had to go back like 3 or 4 days back and forth. She was out of control.
Yeah, she made me angry. I didn't like her.
Even on casual.
Agreed.
Wow.
Outside of this casual,
wow. I beat her on Give Me God of War just for the flex.
I want all y'all people out there. Yo, y'all can play casual, baby.
So, out of curiosity, BG, is there a trophy for beating her on Give Me God of War?
Nope, there's a save file.
We know.
There's a save file.
Oh,
okay. It says so.
No doubt.
That's my prized possession in that game. The save file that says I beat it on Give Me God of War.
There ain't no way, dude. You couldn't pay me enough money to do that. That sounds like a nightmare. There ain't no way.
Ain't about that life. I feel you.
Hell no.
I feel you, bro. Lord Addict, man. What do you need from PS5? What do you need from that? And what about that price point?
Just a Bloodborne 2.
Bloodborne 2. Okay. Get
overrated trash.
Addict, he coming for you. Addict.
I mean, it doesn't matter what he plays. I don't care.
Yo, this is a PlayStation dude.
Yo, I love he got his PlayStation Blue ready.
Yo, he's been roasting their best games. He's been roasting them.
Fake news. That's not their best game. Not even close.
What happened, Addict?
I'm curious what this man plays.
No, don't worry about it.
Is that what you're playing?
No. That is The Last of Us, man. That is the Lord of The Last of Us right there.
All I need is a Bloodborne 2 and a God of War 2.
Okay.
Like, that's all. Like,
what about that price point? What you think they come in at?
I think they're gonna come in at 4.
Oh, kill the game.
$3.99.
Kill the game. Okay. Lord Sovereign, price point, and then also what do you need from PS5? Set the gen off.
It's got to be 5, man. It's got to be. There's no way that thing is any less than 5. The L they take, that $100 L, is too much. They're not doing that. Not for the they're talking about. So it's a $500 machine. And for me, I mean, I'd like to see, again, all of those cross-gen games, like I said before, all of those, Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding, all that, to me, I'm seeing those as PS5 games for me. Unless they come out with a good difference between the end of the PlayStation 4 cycle and the launch of that I could wait. Then I can't wait. That I'll play them on PS4. If not, otherwise I'm playing those on PS5. I like to see Infamous too. Infamous, because I like
that Sucker Punch.
But I mean, I was big. Yeah, I wasn't big on Second Son. I mean, it was good. It was beautiful. It was nice.
I like Cole as the main character. When they got rid of him, I just fell off that game.
Yeah,
I didn't even beat the third.
New dude. It was pretty, but it wasn't nearly as good as 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely like Infamous again.
No doubt, Lord King. What you need from PS5?
Okay. What was the price point that the PlayStation 4 came in at?
$400.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to go with the majority on that $400.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they can keep that trend. I believe they felt that $500, $600 thing that they did with the PlayStation 3 was a death sentence.
Mm-hmm.
I think they going into this, they understand where they have to be, and being that they won't have any next gen titles to launch with, like I don't believe in that Gran Turismo 5 stuff launching. I don't believe that. Whatever he was talking about, whatever extra Gran Turismo,
talking about,
I don't believe that. As far as the racing, and no disrespect, Kratos, they're gonna give you a racing game. What was that other racing game that they came with PlayStation?
Drive Club.
Yeah, that Drive Club was pretty good. So let's get back to
developer was shut down. So
yeah, okay, well, they can use the license and make Drive Club too, and get that game out there. Gran Turismo usually comes in the middle of the cycle, you know, to maximize those dollars. So I do believe it'll be 400. I don't think that they can play in that space with Microsoft going into this next generation. And as far as what Sovereign said, yeah, definitely, I'm not buying not one of those titles on that PlayStation 4. That PlayStation 4 is going to be used. Shout out to Silver for to go for my PlayStation 5. So for at least 5-6 months, I'm getting maximum dollar on that PlayStation 4, so it's going right to the store. I'm going right to GameStop because that's where I'm going to get my PlayStation 5.
Trade your 4 right in.
Yeah, it's out of here.
Can I say one thing?
Yes,
good.
How is it? Because a lot of people think this, or they've said this before. Some kind of way they think that the Xbox was justified in its multiple $500 prices on its systems, but. And then they said the Sony, they feel like the PlayStation should always be cheaper than the Xbox, and I don't get that logic or that theory on that.
Because that's because you're coming from a Trump
Xbox did
mindset.
not succeed at $500.
No, that's because you're coming from
I just don't get
from a Trump mindset. You're coming from a Trump mindset, sir. Not all of us have Trump money.
Oh my God.
No.
Well, the thing is this, right?
I'm just saying, some people just don't have a problem with spending $500 for Xbox anytime, but they have a problem with spending $500 for the next generation.
I think you got a point. Kratos. I think what it is because a lot of what, let's be real, like with the start of the generation, the two death blows, right? We know about the used games. This is how you trade used games, right? That was one of the death blows. And then the other one was the price point. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep it true as far as some definitive factors in the beginning that gave them the jump shot, you know, and the fact that they were actually more powerful. They were doing the 1080p most of the games. So I think people are just assuming that they would do that. But I agree, like a lot of people had no problem paying $5 for an X, right? So
the reason why what he's saying is true is because it was superior tech. Like when the tech is superior, people's gonna pay superior tech money. Right, so is an assumption that the PlayStation 5 is going to come in a little bit under what the Anaconda is. So we expect the Anaconda to be price-wise a little bit more. Then we expect the PlayStation to come in a little bit less. We want it to come in a little bit less. I hope it comes in a little bit less. I hope it comes in at that $400. You understand? Because so it can justify that price. Because if the Anaconda is a little bit more powerful, and they come in at the same price point, they can't do that. Like you can't. I don't care what games you got on deck. You can't say $500 and you can't match them horsepower for horsepower.
But what about the exclusive lineup, King? I mean, they're sitting on bangers. They got
those bangers. I'm gonna get them all.
People going to buy. So I mean, in Sony's defense, Microsoft doesn't have that software cachet that they can get away with that. Like these guys got a lot of, like you said, the Spider-Mans. They're sitting on so many sequels. The Horizon.
You're looking at pedigree versus initial launch titles.
Right.
We know those to launch out, and I think, like Sovereign said, they're gonna leverage those end of the year, end of the cycle games, like the PlayStation 4 games, the Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding, all those games. Yeah. We'll be able to play them at higher resolutions, better frame rate on a PlayStation 5. They got me for that. I'm going to get that. I don't want to buy those games if they're inferior games on the PlayStation Pro. I don't care.
No, I get that. The super chat, sir.
Oh, go ahead. Go get it.
Yeah, the Stitch with the super chat.
I think he wants him to read it.
Oh,
okay.
Sorry.
PlayStation 5 at $500 and $10 increase on PSN to pay Master Phil for
Xbox Live.
That's probably true.
Shout out to So Excited. Here, Kelly, the $2 super chat. Y'all think Lost Soul aside a PS5 title or PS4? I don't. What's
PS4? The Lost Soul aside.
Okay, okay. I don't even know about that one. That's what's up. Let me jump in. Because King, you made some good points. Look, I think to me, if they come with 500, I'm not gonna be upset. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we heard all the things they're talking about, the ray tracing, the SSD, all that strong stuff, and the CPU and stuff like that. But to me, like we talked about, was it 2 ILPs ago? I want to see where they come in PS5 price point and that Lockhart price point. I'm dying to know what that is. But I will say this: if Sony's aggressive and put out that 400, that could dictate a lot. That could set it off. Like if they 400,
exactly.
Woo, man! I mean, you got that library. And here's the thing: you know, we got Last of Us 2. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's going to be a cross-generational title or a launch, we'll see.
Hope so.
Ghost of Tsushima. We ain't even talk about that. That look crazy. You know what I'm saying? I personally don't like VR, but at the end of the day, they have stayed committed to it. We know they're going to double down on it. If they got the untethered joint, you know what I'm saying? It'll be in a more powerful version. They're sitting on stuff. So, we'll see. You know what I'm saying? And we'll see what's going on with that. The last point was, and then we'll get out of here because we wrote on kind of long, is obviously we know no E3, right? But aside from that, what is the most disappointing thing that can happen for Sony for the remainder of 2019? So I'm gonna give BG. Actually, I'm gonna get the Lord set it off first. Let's get the Lord. Attic, because I know you got roll soon. Attic, what's going on, man? What upsets you?
VR, a little bit of VR, and a lot of VR.
They're in the bushes. You don't want to hear about no VR.
Not even talking about it.
All right, no doubt, no doubt. Lord, solve what would piss you off for the remainder of the 2019 with Sony.
I think if none of this happens, right? What if what BG said is right and there's no Last of Us, nothing like that, and there's nothing the rest of the year? Like if there's nothing the rest of the year, I'd be kind of pissed off because I'm looking forward to the Last of Us.
No doubt. Lord King, what would be the most disappointing and piss you off?
This would be the most disappointing for the PlayStation fanboy in my chest, right? Because he in there, he's screaming, he locked up, but he in there. If they come out on Microsoft stage with the Kumbaya, and listen, and then the Xbox dude inside of me that locked up the PlayStation dude is like, yes, bring him on stage with a Kumbaya. So it will be disappointing and it will be elating all at the same time.
You are hilarious. Lord BG, what is the most disappointing thing that Sony could do to end this generation or 2019? All right, BG's in the bushes. Hopefully we get him back. Lord Silver, what is the most...
I was on mute, my bad.
I got BG,
Man, I just, listen, I would like Last of Us to come out this year. I don't think it is, but I would like it. And I just think that, man, I don't, because I'm not really expecting. I'm not expecting that much from Sony this year because I understand this is the transition period.
Yeah.
I just, I'm just overall kind of bored with the fact, like I said, that they haven't been, in the multiplayer sphere this generation. I think this has been a terrible generation for multiplayer games in general.
Good point. So you would be saying there's no multiplayer anything?
Yeah, just in general. I feel like I haven't really had no, multiplayer games to play.
No doubt. Lord Silver, what would piss you off the way of Sony 2019?
Okay, two parts to the same thing. A would be if the collector's edition for The Last of Us Part 2 is $250. That would suck. And then I think if this is since I made myself quit playing online, this would be a good thing, but also a terrible thing is if The Last of Us multiplayer is battle royale only. So if it's battle royale only, that means I'm happy because I don't have to worry about playing it. But I also want to play it. So if it's battle royale only, I refuse to play it. So that's probably what I'm going to go with. Because other than that, Sony drops greatness year after year, every year. So I ain't got nothing to worry about.
You ain't got to worry about them being disappointed, right? So you're good. Your people are good.
I'm good. All good.
My man Silver repping that Sony. I respect that.
Oh, one more thing. Can y'all refrain from throwing around Anaconda so much? Because as a single white guy, it's very it makes me feel very emasculated. So, you know.
Fair enough, Lord Silver. Lord Kratos, this is what I'm curious about. What would piss you off? What would disappoint you for the remainder of 2019? So,
what'll make me, really pissed off is if all we get from here on out for the remainder of the year, if we don't get any more of those big AAA games. I love the VR, man. It really tides me over. It really gives me another way to play. Even the smaller titles like Medieval and stuff like that. All of that is good and dandy, and I buy it all and I play it and I enjoy it all. But to just have Days Gone as one of your big
that sounds like slander
for this year would, to me, that'll be disappointing, and only because my expectation is that they're going to release at least. They have to release one of their big 4 other games that they have. Come on, just give us one, and then the next year you can do whatever. But come on, you got to do something.
I feel you, Kratos. You in my notes.
No, you done took the show. I've been very lenient, right? They're not going to be at E3. They didn't have a PSX.
You like, I've been nice. You like Kratos, like, I've been nice.
I'm like, okay, well, they're doing this for a reason, but that reason better be validated by something and not just because you was trying to save a few bucks.
I feel you.
That would piss me off.
I feel you. I'm with you. Got Kratos kind of in my notes right now. Yeah, man. I just need one banger. One last banger. Close it out. Whether it be, you know what I'm saying, like I said, The Last of Us, you know what I'm saying, or
any of them.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because to me,
you guys better be prepared to be pissed off.
Listen, if it's just VR stuff at the end, that's an L for me. I don't like. Let's just finish strong. Exactly.
You know
what I'm saying? You got the Days Gone joint. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta, Attic, you're gonna be mad, but I want if it's gonna be for next gen, this is what I need for PlayStation, man. We got to bring back the OG of this. You know what I'm saying? We got to bring this back.
Black Kratos.
Hey,
that thing is trash.
Nah, no, come on, BG. This was the GOAT right here. You know what I'm saying? All they need was the act.
Man, did you just call out for another handheld?
Yes. Yo, the Vita. Let me tell you why.
You go home.
Nah, bro. The Vita,
they have a patent. They have a patent for a new handheld.
That's what I'm saying, bro. All you need is the remote play. Come back. PS5. You got your double shifts, and they got party chat.
Yes.
They had between all the apps. They had voice message. They had trophies.
Exactly.
A Sony patent for a new handheld is a Sony patent for a new L.
You know what? Maybe so, but maybe the way to keep the price down from that, right, is just make the system where it's a remote play accessory.
I get it, Kratos. Make it that is only cloud enabled with Microsoft.
Yo, they got Microsoft Cloud, Azure.
Make it nothing inside the system. Just
Hey, you joking, but you never know. Maybe that's what all this cloud stuff.
Maybe they bring the Vita back. That's what I'm saying. And then you got cloud streaming, baby.
No proprietary memory cards. No, none of that. It's just a plain system set up.
Silver's disgusted.
Silver, you listening to this crap? I'm seeing them on the side. Like, what the hell is happening here?
Silver, come on, baby. You like that Vita? You about that?
No. I'm a grown adult, and if I go outside the house, I'm not playing no damn games. Stop.
Thank you, Silver. I'm with you, Silver. This is that cool.
Love.
No, man.
God. I hate it. Oh.
BG, no love for the Vita, man, either. BG, no love. Is it out?
I'm completely with Silver on this one. The last thing I'm thinking about when I'm outside is playing video.
Y'all disrespect. Kratos, you with me, baby? Kratos, you with me?
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
Oh, God, Kratos. No, Kratos. No.
I thoroughly enjoy my Switch. I don't have to go outside, but hey, when I travel, the way I travel, hey, it's good to just pop this.
Oh, you're talking about when you're sitting down being driven or something like that.
The last thing that I need to hear is Lord Cognito and Lord Sovereign bringing up another topic that they can end with, but it's portable. Like, I don't need to hear that.
Yo, Be the two get announced, I'll throw Switch all the way in the bushes.
Oh, man, we need to have that happen. We need to have that happen today.
All the way in the bushes.
Let me call Sony up. Let me call Sony up and see what I can do so we can get you to chuck that garbage in the bushes.
Oh, man.
And that is the end of the 2019 prediction series. Salute Lord Kratos, Lord Silver, Lord BG in the building. My man Jay Bart couldn't make it, salute him as well. Let's start off with Lord BG. Where can the fine people find you, and what do you have going on, sir?
I am struggling to play Days Gone, and in the time that no joke, you can check my Twitter. In the time that we been playing been doing this podcast, I ran into like 3 seriously ridiculous bugs, and I uploaded them to Twitter. So you can check that out if you want.
Like you threw him like a rag doll off the bike.
So I'm literally driving like maybe 5 miles per hour on the bike, and I'm driving into camp, and then one of the NPCs spawns like into my bike, and then my bike gets thrown across like 20 feet across, and then I instantly die.
The Days Gone slander is real.
After driving like 5 miles an hour. And then a bear like tries to attack my bike, and then the bike launches the bear like 20 feet into the air. Like,
oh man,
that sounds like a good time. It sounds fun.
Yeah, I respect. I'm done with it.
All right,
it's something. But Weapon Wheel podcast at 6:30.
6:30 tonight. That's right, baby. Get in the BG. Salute for coming through, brother. Always a pleasure. You already know. Lord Kratos back in the round talking that talk. What's going on, brother? Where can the fine people find you? What you got going on?
You guys can find me on Twitter at JDubCity16, trying to keep you guys laughing with the gifts and the memes. You know what I mean? Just starting a YouTube channel, man. Just starting a new one. My other one gone. Hopefully, you guys.
I was gonna struggle with it. I mean,
but this one here, I'm gonna build it out right, and got some big things coming. So
okay, that's what's up, brother. Hopefully see you out there in LA. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, you know what I'm saying. We link up. You already know, and of course, the man who has been super lit today, repping that Sony flag hard, my man, Lord Silversky. What's going on, brother? Where can the fine people find you? What you got going on?
I only really do the Twitter because YouTube. If you watch the Wingy podcast, I explained how I went to my daughter's soccer. Or at the time, I was coaching at soccer or football, depending on where you're from. And one of the moms came up and she's like, "Hey, I came across your gaming channel." And it was in that moment that I realized I need to stop doing YouTube. That is embarrassing as all get out. So I don't really mess with YouTube a whole lot anymore. But yeah, go on Twitter, and I basically you'll find me trolling my children every day is what I do.
Fag, yo, Twitter, your Twitter is lit. I gotta give it.
I appreciate it.
Absolute, brother. The pleasure. One of the best gaming families in the realm, and that Last of Us talk is always legendary. So we got to get you back. You already know.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely, you already know. When the Lord's in the realm, Lord Addict. I know you got to roll out soon. Where can the fine people find you? What you got going on, man?
You can find me getting off the podcast because I gotta go.
Get to work. Don't get fired. And you already know Lord Sovereign battling the evil Silversky today.
It's all love, man. It's all love.
It's all love. You already know.
No, man. You can find me chilling, man. Chilling, man. You can find me on Twitter, Lord Sav ILP BX.
Your mic is crazy.
On Xbox Live, like I said last week. What is going on with my mic, though?
Mine is
connected.
You uttering nonsense.
It's been terrible the whole day.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. So I'm terrible. Apologies for the mic today. I have no idea.
You don't talk.
But yeah, like I said last week.
Shut up. Go. Good. As you said last week.
What are you hearing from me? Is it choppy?
It's dropping.
We ain't hearing nothing. That's the issue.
All right. So yeah, like I said last week, we planning some stuff for E3. So look out for that. In terms of stuff on the show floor, in terms of stuff that we're gonna be doing from the complex. I know King has got some things percolating, so just look out for all that stuff.
No doubt, you already know. Lord,
you can't even hear me when I end.
I heard you there. Just dropping it out. Lord King out here taking knees, wanting people to bend the knee. all type of subjugation going on out here. This was your moment to talk your talk. So where can the fine people find you and the King of Statue? What is going on, sir?
First and foremost, I would like to thank BG. I would like to thank J Dub, and I would like to thank Silver Scott. BG had I had the pleasure to be on Weapon Wheel, and he treated me fantastic. The show was fantastic. And he is a friend to the realm.
Thanks.
And a true gentleman. Thank you so much for showing up, sir. I do appreciate it, and I love all the commentary that we had going with each other, and the dialogue was great. Same thing with J Dubs. J Dubs is my dude. We will be out in LA together. We will be at Fan Fest, and I can give him the grand tour of how Microsoft really do things. So I really think y'all gonna see a different J Dub after E3. To be honest with you, seriously, I think he's gonna change.
Oh my God, continue.
And Silver, love the bed, my dude. I love the respect. I totally respect everything. It's the first time I'm meeting you, and it was fantastic. I love the dialogue. I love the premium stuff in the background. I love the repping 100%. It was a great show, and I do appreciate you coming through. It was fantastic. Thank you so much. I would definitely find you. So you don't do the Twitter. But I'll try to look for you and follow you.
Twitter's lit. Get on his Twitter. Twitter's lit, man. Make sure all that's going to be in the description when it go up. Yo, salute to the chat. Everybody was lit. Fantastic. We already know we got one more left. Y'all already know who that is. You know what I'm saying? So that will be prediction series next week. We will release the guests later in the week, so get a little surprise, a little tension going up. But yeah, salute to the panel, everybody, man. J Dub, Silver, BG, Kratos, all that, man. It was fantastic. Chat was lit, and you already know the audio is going to be up later tonight. Lord Kaibatsu will have that. Shout out to the stream team, Lord PD, L Boogie, the crew, old school style, MJ the boss. I saw you in there. Oh, there you go. He up in there. Boss Move says Solve is chopped and screwed. Yo, he's stupid. Yo, shout out to LordsOfGaming.net. We got some great articles up right now talking all that cloud talk, streaming talk. Your boys out there, please support the realm on that. Everybody enjoy your Sunday. If anybody got anything else, we out of here. Peace.